This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
David back at his post. Good to see you, buddy. Our stage manager is is looking good. Things are returning to all right, that's a lot of clapping.
That's a lot.
I don't get that
it's
much
just
clapping.
David. It's just David.
Welcome to DBL. It's Monday, June 7th. I'm Tori here with Jeff and Brandon, and we do have to say a big happy birthday to you, Jeffrey. How was your birthday?
Thank you.
Yes.
It was great. You know, 43 is a big one. You know, you really blow it up when you hit 43. But now, stayed home, barbecued with the family. That's all I want to do. Go fishing with the fam and then barbecue at night.
And you caught a fish?
I did not.
Did not.
Okay.
Good
You know what?
stuff.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
I don't want to take up a lot of time here, but I was telling my wife, we go to the same spot because the kids like to swim there. There's no fish there.
No.
So every time I go fishing there, they're like, did you catch something? I'm like, no. But it's not because I'm a bad fisherman. It's because we go where there's no fish every time. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
Seems like you did. Seems like it
I
was
feel
pent
a
up.
lot better.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad. That's good for everyone. All right. How safe are kids at school? Well, this Texas mom, you ready for this? Tried to prove a point, but ended up getting arrested and is now facing criminal charges. She recorded herself impersonating her 13-year-old daughter and went to her middle school posing as a 7th grader. She says she did it to expose the lax security. Take a look.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, and yourself?
Great.
I've been here all day, face to face with teachers.
Well, I finally got caught. I told them that I would go to the principal's office, so I guess we're gonna see what happens.
We need better security at our schools. This is what I tried to prove. And I don't mean to be curt, but I kind of feel like I proved it.
Okay, so what do you think about what this mom did, and do you think she has a point that school security is not strict enough? Jeffrey?
Not when you're wearing a mask and a hood and glasses. I mean, how are you supposed to do that? Maybe this child's not popular enough that anyone even cares she's there.
Oh, burn.
Yeah, burn. I'm not worried about people sneaking into school that are mothers pretending to be their daughters. I'm worried about school members that go to that school and walking in with an assault rifle. Yeah. That's what I'm more nervous about. Not someone having lunch and pretending to be their daughter.
So you think this was totally worthless?
To me, it was.
I mean, we're talking about it, and if you're thinking about it now that we're opening back up, and not just the security in schools, security here in the workplace, security within remember, our meat supply was hacked. Remember, we're talking about fans running onto the court at NBA basketball games. I feel like now that the world is finally opening back up and we're going back to that norm, we're going to see a rise in the wahoos and the weirdos. So security in general has to step up, and we all have to be on our A game.
That's fair. I do want to go back to wahoos, because that's one of my favorite words you've ever used.
And they have good fish tacos.
Delicious.
Really? That's a real place?
Wahoo fish
Fish
tacos.
tacos.
I thought like Wahoo was like a crazy person. Or was that Yahoo?
A Yahoo.
No, Yahoo is a chocolate milk.
No,
that's a Yoo-hoo.
Oh, no, Yahoo is the online search engine.
Oh boy, we're back to that.
Okay,
1999. All right. A billionaire is headed to space. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos made the announcement today, posting a video to Instagram. He's also inviting his brother. Take a look at this.
I want to go on this flight because it's a thing I've wanted to do all my life. It's an adventure. It's a big deal for me. I invited my brother to come on this first flight because we're closest friends. I really want you to come with me. Would you?
Are you serious?
I am. I think it would be meaningful.
Okay. Bezos will be the first of the billionaires competing in the space race to go, beating out Richard Branson and Elon Musk. So what do you think of his decision to go? Maybe it's in space where we'll find his tax money.
Oh, that joke was out of this world.
Good one. I just think Jeff Bezos, it just looks so privileged. I'm happy for
Privileged?
it. Yes.
He's earned it. What is left for him to do?
Give back to the United States of America?
He earned it. He doesn't have to do anything. He could buy a car whenever he wants. He could give $1 billion back.
Does he?
He could, and I'm sure he does.
He doesn't. The man has very little philanthropy, and he doesn't give a cent in Amazon taxes. And I have a
So you want him to give all of his earnings away?
No,
instead
I
of
want him to
doing things-
pay a fair share. And I think this is like, I'm going to take my brother, my family. It's very like, to me, nepotism. Someone, you can have an auction to go, and right now the bid is at $2.8 million. You go up for a little while and you get to see space, but this rubs me the wrong way.
Well, it doesn't rub me the wrong way. I think it's cool, and you have nothing left to do when you're a billionaire. You got to find new things to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Tori, on that. Yes. Does the man need to pay more taxes and all?
Or any.
Do I have to look into his books for me to come out and say that, because I'm not his accountant? Yes. But at the same time, when you're rich like that, what else are you supposed to do? It's not like you can't go hang out and do what normal people do. The next thing to do is to go to space.
I'm happy that he's making space exploration. I'm happy that we're going there. I just don't know if he's the representative I most wanted to see there as the person who's a regular civilian going, when I don't think he's really given back much to this America that he's used for his gain.
Oh, I feel you here.
Okay.
I'm going to change gears a little bit. Why aren't, like, astronauts more famous? For real, why aren't they more celebrities? If someone's really, really good at pretending to be somebody else, aka the actors and actresses, we put them way up here on a pedestal. Why not somebody who went to the moon? I'd be like, dude, I want to know more about your brain.
It's the NASA brand. I think it's because of the NASA brand. Because remember how they
ignored my question.
No, I'm telling you, because of the NASA brand. They're not putting them out as astronauts. Remember, there was so much beef with NASA, and people were so upset because it was like, hey, we went to the moon, 50 years ago with the technology of an iPhone. Why haven't we been back? Now, Elon Musk has sent a Tesla into the universe. That's a lot cooler than your everyday NASA, exploration,
And we do have a correction. Amazon paid nothing in 2018. Is that correct? But 1.8 billion last year. So that's good news for that.
It's not his fault that he's taking advantage of the way America set up their tax system. It's not his problem. He didn't invent that. He's just taking advantage of what is given to him.
I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying, in my feeling, it's his duty to give back after what he's gained from this country.
So your parents are well off. Should they move into a smaller house and give money back to charity?
No, but should they pay their fair taxes? Yes.
That's a good point.
Would they go to space?
No. Can you imagine space? Oh my God. Okay, we have to give a big DBL shout out to this rat named Magawa. Yes, please take a look. This is Magawa. He has been honored for his work helping to sniff out landmines in Cambodia. There's his tiny little medal. He even got this tiny, there you see it right there along his neck. He's also retiring after 5 years. In that time, he is credited with finding 71 landmines and 38 unexploded bombs. Now, they use rats, they said, because they are so lightweight and they have a good sense of smell and they're very fast. So they can clear a tennis court size in the same time a person takes 4 days, they can do it in 30 minutes.
And if one blows up, people are just like, who gives a rat?
That's awful. Magawa is part of the Hero Rats organization.
Okay.
It's a part of the rodents, and they recruit new rodents to help smell out. I think that's fabulous.
A rat got a medal, but we don't even acknowledge our astronauts. What's up?
Only in America.
Yeah, that's right.
Only in America. All right, coming up on DBL, we're chatting with a radio host who lost his son in a nightclub fire 17 years ago. Why he believes his son is still communicating with him today. It gives me chills, this interview. And should women be drafted into the military? Why some argue the current men's only draft is sexist. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
There may be a silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. According to reports, there has been so little flu that a couple of strains may have gone extinct. Let's connect the dots. One side effect of COVID-19 has been a non-existent flu season. Experts say everything we did to stop COVID, face masks, social distancing, school closures, more hand washing, also helped flu cases drop to historic lows. According to Stat News, it's not just that we haven't had a lot of flu cases, but also that 2 strains of it were not reported anywhere. Viruses need a host to survive. With the flu, it usually passes from person to person in order to continue existing, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere as the seasons change. Stat News says since March 2020, no cases from one subtype of influenza A and one lineage of influenza B have been reported. Now, just because no cases were reported doesn't necessarily mean they are gone, but it is a good sign. Experts say it could make your yearly flu vaccine more effective. Each year, the experts have to figure out which strains will spread and make a vaccine using that educated guess. With fewer types of flu to pick from, there is a greater chance that educated guess is right.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our coworkers tuning in from home. A lot of them are still working remotely, but we are actually slowly getting more people back in the studio safely and according to CDC guidelines, of course. All right, is the military draft sexist? That's the question the Supreme Court is being asked to decide. Now, if you didn't know, men are required to register for the draft at 18, but women are not. Some say that's sex discrimination. Men who don't register face a felony punishable by a fine and 5 years in prison, but women face no penalties. So is that fair, and should women be eligible for the draft? Go to dblvote.com. Tell us what you think. It's going to be right here below as we speak. Brandon, what do you think?
On my honor, I would do my best to do my duty to God and my country. Now, understand that's the Scouts' honor, but there are Boy Scouts, there are Girl Scouts. Now, when we talk about the ultimate sacrifice and laying down your life for your country, that shouldn't exempt men, women, trans men and women, because there shouldn't be any type of restriction to that. So I'm not going to go and play that line and say, oh, it's sexist or not, but if women should be able to
be part of the draft?
Be part of the draft.
Wow,
yes.
strong take.
What do you think? Because you're big on female empowerment and all that. What do you think?
I completely agree with Brandon. I 100% think it's sexist that they're not in the draft. I think if you're going to have a sex protected as a class, as a gender, you can't have it both ways. They gotta be able to go. Trans people have to be able to go, and at no point can I have exempt women because their muscles are somewhat weaker. Yeah. I don't even know the scientific reasons. Yeah. At this point, it's not an equal feeling. What do you think?
I agree.
You do?
I was hoping you would disagree. But where we are in America in 2021 with equal rights, and I'm all for all that, everyone being equal, we have to make everything equal. We can't just pick and choose what we want and be like, oh, this is good for you. We need more women CEOs. But less women soldiers? That doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
And when you're thinking about the military, like my grandmother, I love going home because she talks about when my grandfather flew in Nam and they were going from base to base, military base. She said we didn't see race, we didn't see color, because if you were on that military base, you had one job to do, and that's get back home. That's all you wanted to do. So when we're talking about women and that ultimate sacrifice, we should throw this out completely, because it's more disrespectful in 2021 than it is whatever you're trying to protect women.
I hear you. I hear that. And if you are a soldier, please write us in. If you're someone looking to be a soldier, please write us in as well. Right now, it's at 61%. I'm so blind. Should women be part of the draft? So a slight, well, pretty big majority, yes.
I don't understand that 38%.
Well, there's some people that feel like it's men that should be on the front line. And there's a lot of you out there that think that have a World War II type of greatest generation. The women take home of the kids. They sew, they ration, and they take care of the home front, where the men go out. And that's been that way for a long, long time. But I think, as you said, in 2021, that wall has crumbled.
So we're saying that 35% still thinks that the women should be at home with the apron bearing children.
I'm sure there's some people out there who think that they are not strong enough also to be on the front line, which is absurd.
And on the other side of that, I think there's a lot of men saying, I want to go protect my family and serve my country while my woman takes care of the kids. That type of mentality from the 60s, but it's instilled in a lot of men to protect, right?
True. Yeah. And just so you know, women are actually better spies than men. And if you didn't know, Julia Child, the French chef, was actually a World War II spy.
Wow.
She's right.
What are you going to do, start rumors about the other team?
Final vote? Final vote. Yes, 65% of you say yes, should women in the draft go? And if you are part of the 34%, please make sure that you write us in and let us know. We would love to hear from you. And of course, thank you for everyone who is serving. Yes. Coming up on DBL, a father is sharing his emotional story, losing his son in a fire nearly 20 years ago. But the divine signs that prove our loved ones who've passed are always by our side. It's a great one.
After a year of canceled trips and blown plans, 2021 is all about making up for lost time. And with the weather heating up and pools opening back up, what could go wrong? A national lifeguard shortage. So let's verify, is there really a nationwide lifeguard shortage? Here are sources.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Wernis.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Mondick.
Both our experts confirmed that yes, there is a shortage nationwide.
A lack of interest, the pandemic, the halt to the foreign exchange, people aging out, all these are the perfect storm.
Our two experts say that many areas rely on foreign exchange students here with J-1 visas. Just look at State Department numbers from the last 5 years. You'll see that they dropped by about 83% in 2020. That's because President Trump suspended new J-1 visa applications at the start of the pandemic. It just expired in April.
Typically, we have a lot of overseas staff that come to patrol our beaches and our water parks in the summer. And because of the pandemic, those staff are not available to come over on their visas.
So we can verify that nationally, as a whole, yes, there's a lifeguard shortage. But whether or not your local pool is going to be affected depends on where you live. Glad summer's finally here. This is Evan Kozloff with your Verify.
Welcome back to DBL. It's a tragedy no parent would ever want to experience. In 2003, Dave Kane lost his son Nick in a nightclub fire in Rhode Island. Since then, Dave believes his son has been communicating with him and his family in mysterious ways. Earlier, Lindsay, Eric, and I spoke to Dave about the meaning behind these messages. Take a look. Dave, thank you so much for joining us at DBL. We all three were talking before, and we're so excited to speak with you. First off, we're so sorry about your son, but we want you to tell us about Nick. He was a musician and also wrote a play that actually may have foreshadowed his own death. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can talk to you forever. How much time do I have? Three hours to do it. Yeah, Nick is a wonderful boy, and we always talk about Nick in present tense. We don't allow ourselves to say, you know, Nick used to like this pizza. Right. We say he likes the pizza. We continue. As you mentioned, a year before he passed, he wrote a play called They Walk Among Us. The play is about teenagers who die and come back as angels.
Wow.
And beginning the day after the fire, we started to get signs from Nicky, not all, but many, around the number 41. This was his number. Nick loved 41. He'd get in the car with me and say, Dad, look, it's 241. And we'd see a license plate, Dad, 4141. We didn't know what it was. We couldn't figure it out. When he passed, he was 18 and 23 days, 41. The station nightclub is at latitude 41.41.
Wow.
The fire call box at the station was 4414. And on the cover of my book is a sketch of Nicky from a videotape we found a year after he passed. And in the videotape, his mom's holding him. He's about 4 months old, and he has a little baseball uniform on, and the number on the cap is 41.
Wow. So when did you first realize that Nick might be trying to communicate with you?
The morning after the fire, I did talk radio for years, still do it, and the morning after the fire, I got a call from a medium who used to come on my show and do readings. And I said, what can I do? She said, well, I saw what happened last night. I wanted to see if I could come on the air and help anybody that had lost someone. And then I told her about Nick, and she said to me, oh, I should have said something. And I thought, oh, great. Now I got a medium. It's going to tell me something she didn't really know. And I was not in a good mood that day, and I hung up on her. And 2 days later, I called back to apologize, and she said, you don't know the story. And she was watching it most of the night, and she got up to make a cup of tea for herself in the morning. And she had a vision of who she said was, what she said was a charred boy. And the boy said, please call my father. Please call my father. She had no idea who this was. And she just went to her own phone book and flipped it open. And my name was the only name on the 2 pages. Wow. And she said, well, I'll go on Dave Kane's radio show and find out who he is, never realizing it was Nicky.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, you wrote the book, 41 Signs of Hope, and we know what the significance of the number is. But has there ever been a time where you've identified 41 and you just almost like you just shook your head, like it just in disbelief?
Well, it goes on constantly. It goes on constantly. But then we started to realize that in Scripture, 40 days is always the time when the pogrom happens. 40 days of the rain, and on the 41st day is the rainbow and the dove. And that's what I tell people when I do my talk, that it's sad to have me tell you about Nicky passing, but now it's the good news, because now I can tell you that he's right here and your loved ones are here. This is the most important part. Your loved ones are here. And when it's your turn to pass, you'll be fine too.
All right, some people watching, Dave, might be thinking, okay, these are just signs, they're just coincidences, nothing more, as you said, or that your son is communicating with you is sort of unhealthy in that way of not letting go of that grief. And I just wanted you to speak to those people, because there are skeptics out there that are like, maybe he's holding on too long. What do you feel about that?
I'm not here to convince anybody. I tell people, my job is to tell the story and let you decide what you think for you. We're the ones that have been trained to turn our back. We're the ones that have been trained to talk past tense. They're not past tense. They're here, and they're tap dancing as fast as they can to let you know that there's nothing to fear.
Dave, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We all feel your son with us today. Dave's book is 41 Signs of Hope. For more on this, you can visit davekane.net or get the book on Amazon. Again, it's been an honest honor. We'll be right back.
Thanks so much.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about cicadas. Billions of them have been emerging from the ground, taking over parks, backyards, and sidewalks, even some kitchens. Oh! But not everybody has been a part of this cicada party. We recently received an email from a Leesburg viewer named Jen saying her backyard is empty. So let's verify, what are the main reasons that cicadas may not be in your neighborhood? Our source is Michael Raup, a professor emeritus at the University of Maryland, aka the bug guy.
Somebody's got to be the bug guy. It might as well be me.
Rupp says one big reason is land use, because remember, the cicadas we see today were born 17 years ago and have been growing underground ever since.
New developments, let's say past 2004, simply are unlikely to have cicadas again if they've been deforested. Just like Joni Mitchell said, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. No more cicadas.
This is also why cicadas are less prevalent in cities. 17 years ago, the cicada nymphs had no place to go due to all that pavement. So what trees do cicadas like?
I'm seeing a lot of cicadas now in oak trees, in maple trees, in elm trees. They tend not to like the gymnosperms, evergreens, things like spruces and other trees with very dense needled foliage and branches.
But what if you have one of those trees that they like in your backyard, but for some reason, you just have no cicadas?
They're very patchy. They may have emerged, but they may have gone off down the street 100 yards. That's where they're laying eggs. And it can be as simple as 100 yards down the road.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. When it comes to getting quality sleep and adequate sleep every night, exercise plays a huge role in that. So we're going to chat about it in DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. People who exercise are almost twice as likely to get solid sleep compared to non-exercisers. Now, it doesn't have to be strenuous. It could be a brisk walk, which is what Tori likes, or a bike ride. As long as you're doing an activity for 20 to 25 minutes a day, you'll be burning enough calories to prepare your body for better rest. It's also important to try to get to sleep around the same time every night to keep your internal clocks in check. Staying active is so important, and QB's made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. So we have a really interesting comment that someone actually wrote us in from Bridget. Bridget, thank you for writing us. Bridget wrote this about women in the military. If we include women in the draft, where does that leave our children? No dad, no mom. So they stay home with the grandparents to raise them. That is a struggle for many parents, let alone grandparents. So all of you would say abandon the children. They don't need a parent at home, let alone two parents. Now let's take them both away.
But why do we automatically say that woman has to go into combat? There are other roles that woman or even the male can play in the military. You're automatically equating everything to combat. It's just signing up to do your duty for your country.
And I'm not saying both parents should go. I'm simply saying it's sexist to not allow both parents to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, why not let the household decide?
Yeah.
One parent go. It's kind of the Private Ryan thing, right?
That's what I was
Because you always have one family member that has to return. If you have 5 boys that are in the military, they're going to save one of those boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
to keep the family name going. So it's kind of that thing, but it is a good question to bring up in this day and age.
And I do want to say, Emma wrote in, women shouldn't be drafted due to how problematic the U.S. military is when it comes to treating their female service members. That's something we want to also be very careful of. Women are also, often sexually assaulted in the military, and it's quietly an epidemic, and I want to bring that up as well. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys. Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live. A mom poses as her 13-year-old daughter for a day of middle school?
I am gonna get so caught. I'm actually really scared now.
Why'd she do it? Jeff Bezos is going to space. Is this a risky move for the world's richest man? Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl. The story behind her adorable royal name. And are R&B superstar Monica, from her new true crime series to reuniting with Brandy.
We knew that it had to end with The Boy Is Mine.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Our stage manager is back. Welcome to DBL. It is Monday, June 7th. I'm Sam, here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. Look at this. This is weird. I know. This is so weird. I know. It's been a year and 3 months. March 13th was the last time we've all been in the studio. There's some producers are here. Wow, Ira,
don't forget about that little cutie
Ira's
over there.
Here.
Ira wore a name tag.
Because it's been that long. Forget you, Ira. And slowly but surely, we will be reintroducing more of our staff. Crazy,
Feels
crazy,
good.
crazy. Okay, and how was your birthday weekend really
It was
quick?
great.
Yes.
It was great, yeah. Just chilled, you know, that's what I like. I went fishing with my kids. That's all I wanted to do.
Weird.
What? I know. It kind of feels like back up, man. But yeah,
You went
it's
fishing
very
with
good.
the kids.
Barbecued at night. That's all I wanted.
Oh, that's so Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Super Jeff.
And
Perfect
his
for Jeff.
birthday is a milestone because his birthday fell on our audition.
That's right.
Or our audition fell on his birthday.
That's
I should
right.
say.
That's right.
So yeah, it's been 4 years since we all been together.
Well, the gang's back.
Wow. 4 years now.
Without plexiglass, of course. Yeah. Okay, so you guys may wonder, how safe are kids in school, right? Well, this Texas mom tried to prove a point by ending up, well, she got arrested and is now facing criminal charges. So this is what she did. She recorded herself impersonating her 13-year-old daughter and went to her middle school posing as a 7th grader. You see in the video, that's her. She says she did it to expose the lax security at the school. Take a look.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, and yourself?
Great.
I've been here all day. Face to face with teachers. Well, I finally got caught. I told them that I would go to the principal's office, so I guess we're gonna see what happens. We need better security at our schools. This is what I tried to prove. And I don't mean to be curt, but I kind of feel like I proved it.
Well, what do you think about what this mom did? And do you think that she has a point that school security is not strong enough? Now, when I first heard this story this morning, because we have a morning meeting every morning, I thought, okay, how could a teacher not recognize that this is not the student that they've had all year? However, with the mask, she wore broad glasses, not sunglasses, but glasses. She looks young herself, so I'm not going to blame the teachers here. So now it does boil down to, are schools as secure as we hope they would be, Erica? What do you make of this? And should the mom have done this?
It's certainly alarming and it's extreme, but if she was trying to prove a point, I believe she did prove it. However, you also have to take into account the same way that we started the show. It's been a year and some months.
That's fair.
And some of these teachers may not have been her daughter's teachers before, and the last thing you're going to do is comment on a child's appearance. So the fact that there were so many other factors involved, I mean, yes, we do need safer schools. Was this the right way to prove it? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought your point, we had talked about this earlier, was really fair, that it's not necessarily the people coming from out of the schools, it's the kids in the schools that we're not paying attention to. So I just wanted you to go on with that. I thought it was a great point.
Yeah, because no one's sneaking into schools, and let's talk about it. School shootings, right? No one's sneaking in to do school shootings. It's the kids that go there. So maybe we should focus more on the mental health of the children rather than if someone's faking to be their daughter or not that's wearing a mask. I wouldn't know. Maybe this girl's not even popular and no one cares.
Dude.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're all back together again. Let's do it.
He kicked the dirt off the shoes.
That's right.
Let me tell you. Okay. Did I do it? Say
That's
it
not
right?
even right.
That's not at all right.
I was picking up what you were laying down.
No. Kick the dirt off the shoes.
Okay. Holy moly.
And I got that from you, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because you say that all the time.
Yeah, kick the dirt off the tires.
Yeah, but I got it wrong. But I got it from you, though.
All right, maybe I'll use yours.
I think mine's better. Okay, a billionaire is headed to space. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos made the announcement today, posting a video to Instagram. He's also inviting his brother. Take a look.
I want to go on this flight because it's a thing I've wanted to do all my life. It's an adventure. It's a big deal for me. I invited my brother to come on this first flight because we're closest friends. I really want you to come with me. Would you?
Are you serious?
I am. I think it would be meaningful.
Well, Bezos will be the first of the billionaires competing in the space race to go, beating out Richard Branson and Elon Musk. So what do you guys think of the decision to go? Tori, you have a frown on your face.
This rubbed me the wrong way. And I know I'm going to get in it with Erica, I think. But here's the deal. I really do. I really do. Because I think, here's the deal. Maybe he can find his tax money in space. Maybe he can actually help Americans by, like, leaving this space, the atmosphere, and actually doing something for this country. I find this snobby. I find this entitled. I find this privileged. I find, like, I'm going to take my brother. Well, there's a lot to fix here, and you could do it with a check. So I have a real hard time with Bezos. I know Erica disagrees.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think I always tell you to stay out of people's bedrooms and out of people's wallets.
That's right.
Yeah. My take doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more so like, out of all the races, I would not want to be the first to go to space. Like, if my brother called me and was like, sure thing, I'd be like, bro, first of all, have you talked to mom? Like, that's just so strange to me. But I understand this is a big thing for people. It just feels like I'd rather be like Fifth.
How can you poo-poo going to space? I would go to space. Would you go to space?
I don't know if I'd go to space.
What?
I'd go to the moon.
That's in space. What planet
but unless
are
you're
we
doing
on?
something, Earth. That's what we're talking about.
How could you not want to go to
you
space?
just go on a real high plane ride. What's the difference?
You get to see the atmosphere. Remember that guy, Baumgartner?
Yeah,
I don't think it's that cool.
Remember the Red Bull Baumgartner dude that, like, do you remember his view? Do you remember seeing the Earth's atmosphere and you see the entire Earth as a whole, like, meaning as a globe, as a circle?
Have you seen SpaceX?
You're not just way up in the air.
But SpaceX has a lot of faults, and they have not landed all of their landings. So I kind of agree with Erica. At this point, I'm not sure I'd be ready for this.
Maybe not be the first.
Maybe not the first.
Maybe the fifth.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got a really touching graduation story for you all. Timothy Harrison showed up at work at Waffle House instead of going to his graduation, all because he didn't have a ride across town. But his co-workers band together, bought him an outfit, and drove him to the ceremony. Here's what Harrison and his store manager said about it.
That's when I said, of course, why would you take off your graduation? And he was like, well, I didn't want to miss work. So I was like, well, you're going.
I got people who want to see me succeed. So that kind of had me excited.
Wow. And now a local community college there has offered him a full ride scholarship. Yes.
Yo.
Would we do this for one another?
I would hope so, or do it like for one of our children or something. That he learned, not only is he going to get a college education now for free, he's going to learn a life lesson, like how to treat people, how to help others out. And if you help others out, let them succeed. You could pull people up while you're up there as well. So I love this story. I wish we did more of them.
Yeah, I also think when my dad said he missed a funeral once, and he just said 99% of life is showing up. And they knew it'd be important that he walked. It's important that he was there. It's important.
I think
it's important.
Also,
you want me to do it again? It's important.
But it's important that we also think about things as a community too, because it's a beautiful gift when you have someone in your life who supports you. And if people don't have that type of support system, it doesn't take a whole lot to offer that to someone. So I think that's something we can all take away from them.
Amen, Erica. All right, well, quickly, before we go to break, we have to give a big DBL shout out to this little rat named Magawa. He's been honored for his work helping sniff out landmines in Cambodia. He even got this little medal that's hanging around his neck. He's also retiring after 5 years, and in that time, he is credited with finding 71 landmines and 38 unexploded bombs. When I thought about this story, I thought about your world travels, because didn't you go there?
Yes. I went to Cambodia. I didn't know, I was too busy learning about the killing fields in Pol Pot when I got to Cambodia, which I didn't know about. I thought this was a real problem in Laos, which is like in Thailand, and Laos is right up here. I know this is still a big problem. There's a lot of people that had their limbs blown off. I don't mean to be graphic, but this is still a huge problem. It's from the war. So this rat.
Did you know, was rats a thing when you were there? Did you know that rats were sniffing out mines?
No. I didn't.
They're lightweight enough to not hurt themselves, and they can smell and cover a tennis court worth of field in 30 minutes. But humans take 4 days to do the same. Wow. So this little guy is really, he's part of Hero Rats, an organization of rodents.
Whoa, and I wonder how far he can sniff. Like, did you know an elephant can smell water 22 miles away? Wow. That is insane, you guys. Think about that. So I'm wondering
what his smell range is.
I don't know about it. You got me so curious. Come back.
Well, good to be back.
Oh, God.
Now you can punch me.
Coming up on DBL, Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl into the world, but is the royal family sending their best wishes after all the drama? Plus, we're chatting with R&B superstar Monica from her new true crime series to Reunited with Brandy. She is dishing the deets. And should women be required to register for the draft? Why some argue the current men-only draft is sexist. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
There may be a silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. According to reports, there has been so little flu that a couple of strains may have gone extinct. Let's connect the dots. One side effect of COVID-19 has been a non-existent flu season. Experts say everything we did to stop COVID, face masks, social distancing, school closures, more hand washing, also helped flu cases drop to historic lows. According to Stat News, it's not just that we haven't had a lot of flu cases, but also that 2 strains of it were not reported anywhere. Viruses need a host to survive. With the flu, it usually passes from person to person in order to continue existing, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere as the seasons change. Stat News says since March 2020, no cases from one subtype of influenza A and one lineage of influenza B have been reported. Now, just because no cases were reported doesn't necessarily mean they are gone, but it is a good sign. Experts say it could make your yearly flu vaccine more effective. Each year, the experts have to figure out which strains will spread and make a vaccine using that educated guess. With fewer types of flu to pick from, there is a greater chance that educated guess is right.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our co-workers tuning in from home. A lot of them are still working remotely, but we are slowly getting more and more people back into the studio, safely and according, of course, to CDC guidelines. So is the military draft sexist? That's the question the Supreme Court is being asked to decide. Men are required to register for the draft at 18. But women are not, and some say that is sex discrimination. Men who don't register face a felony punishable by a fine and 5 years in prison, but women face no penalties. So is that fair, and should women be eligible for the draft? Before we talk, go to dblvote.com. Tell us what you think. We always love to hear from you. Tori, what do you make of this?
Surprisingly, I think that women should definitely be made to register to be in the draft, which we haven't had in many, many years. If I want freedom and equality, that's got to go both ways. And it can't be that the men get punished for one thing and women don't. If you're going to protect a class, which is a protected class of women, gender, then you got to do it both ways. So I am fully for women participating in Navy SEAL training. If they can make it, that's great. Front lines, combat, engineering, anything has to be up for grabs. Now, I know a lot of people at home right now are saying who's going to stay home and take care of the kids, and that's a real issue. But at that point, maybe the husband stays home if the wife has aspirations.
You just brought up a really great point that I don't think a lot of us have thought about, because conventionally speaking, if you think back to Vietnam, right, most of the homes, the dependents are dependent on the mother, right? Most of the time, not all the time. Now, things have changed over the years, but for the most part, it's still not 50-50. So what if it's just dependent specific? Like a man, I don't know the details here, but if a father has kids, Erica, they shouldn't be drafted. If a woman is a single mom and
but then
has
you're being
kids,
penalized for not having kids.
No, drafted. You're not being penalized.
But some people think the draft is a penalty at some point.
Well, if you have kids, your kids can't go.
They save one. It's that Private Ryan effect, right? So if you have 5 sons and they all get drafted, they're going to save one of those sons. So your name lives on. That's how it used to be.
So no. So if you're a parent, though,
right,
and you're a single parent and you have 3 kids depending on you, you're eligible for draft? That can't
that's
be right.
a good. Oh,
that's
I see what you're saying.
That
yes.
cannot be right. If you're a single mother or a single father,
I see what.
But you got to think too. This isn't the '60s anymore, right? 18 years old, you're getting drafted. Maybe families started earlier back then. 18-year-old. Now you don't really think of families, right?
This is kind of a crazy topic to me because I agree with Tori on one hand, but in order to express your freedom and equity and equality, that also means you have to have it. And the truth is, women do not have full autonomy over their bodies in this country. And also, the idea of sexual harassment and some of the issues that are happening in the military
that's a good point.
are grave. If you speak to female veterans or people who are active duty, they will tell you that there are situations where they do not feel safe. Until that is resolved for the women who are volunteering and enlisting, then we can't even really have this conversation, can we?
Because it's not equitable at the first place.
That is fair. A great conversation and a great point. 66% of you say yes, women should be eligible for the draft. Interesting. So coming up on DBL, Shannon Doherty is getting real about aging, why she's ditching the Botox. And next, we're catching up with Monica, you guys. Is the boy hers or Brandy's? That's coming up next.
After a year of canceled trips and blown plans, 2021 is all about making up for lost time. And with the weather heating up and pools opening back up, what could go wrong? A national lifeguard shortage. So let's verify, is there really a nationwide lifeguard shortage? Here are sources.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Wernis.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Mondick.
Both our experts confirmed that yes, there is a shortage nationwide.
A lack of interest, the pandemic, the halt to the foreign exchange, people aging out, all of these are the perfect storm.
Our 2 experts say that many areas rely on foreign exchange students here with J1 visas. Just look at State Department numbers from the last 5 years. You'll see that they dropped by about 83% in 2020. That's because President Trump suspended new J1 visa applications at the start of the pandemic. It just expired in April.
Typically, we have a lot of overseas staff that come to patrol our beaches and our water parks in the summer. And because of the pandemic, those staff are not available to come over on their visas.
So we can verify that nationally, as a whole, yes, there's a lifeguard shortage. But whether or not your local pool is going to be affected depends on where you live. Glad summer's finally here. This is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Welcome back to DBL. That's Grammy award-winning singer Monica's new music video, Trenches. And we caught up with Miss Thang herself earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars. Welcome to DBL. We have a lot to talk about, including your new celebrity true crime series plus new music. It's been more than 20 years since you earned a Grammy with fellow R&B singer Brandy for The Boy Is Mine. And I want to know the best part about reuniting with Brandy for the Versus battle, which you won, by the way.
For me, I felt like it was a win for the culture in a lot of different facets. And I'll tell you why. We had not come together or done anything together in almost a decade at that point. And I wanted it to be special. And we knew that it had to end with The Boy Is Mine.
Yes.
There's no song to play after The Boy Is Mine.
Right.
And they made it all happen. So I'm really glad that we were able to do something like that.
You just released the title track off your upcoming new album, Trenches, which features rapper Lil Baby. What can you tell us about it?
That record is special to me. It is the title track off my new album, which is now done.
Yeah.
It's being mixed and mastered. It took me a very long time. It is a very transparent record. I am talking that talk, as we say.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, congrats to that. Now, you're super busy. You're hosting the new true crime series show on VH1 called Infamy, When Fame Turns Deadly. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Infamy was a dream come true for me. I grew up being a big fan of true crime series. Snapped, First 48, America's Most Wanted. All those shows were shows I watched. And this one kind of parallels in different ways. But what I love most about Infamy is it really takes you through a walk of who the victims were from their childhood, where they were born and raised, and what their life was really like. And then it also gives you a chance to hear from the people that are still mourning their loss. We talk to mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers, and you realize how these tragedies really changed lives.
The price of fame can be deadly.
I like that the spotlight is on the victim and surviving family and not the perpetrator, which we often see in true crime. Well, you've been using your voice, Monica, to speak about other important topics. You recently shared that you are recovering from surgery related to endometriosis. My mom has had that. It is incredibly painful. Why was it so important to share this experience with other women? Because I know some women have never even heard of it, which is crazy to me.
Well, I had never heard of it just 4 years ago when I was diagnosed. Endometriosis is extremely painful, and women monthly feel like suffering is a part of the deal when you're a woman. But you find out when you learn about endometriosis that we shouldn't be in excruciating pain. And you learn that every age can suffer from endometriosis. So once I was diagnosed, I initially had the first surgery, and it was not like the second. The second was very hard. I was in the hospital a week, and I ended up having multiple blood transfusions. But now being on a bit of the mends and recovering, I've become somewhat of an advocate because I want women to know what this disease is, and I want them to know that there is help for them.
Spread the word to all your female friends. Gentlemen, get to know the word endometriosis, and thank Monica for speaking out about it. Monica, it's been an honest pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, DBL Nation. Be sure to watch the premiere of Infamy, When Fame Turns Deadly, when it premieres June 7th on VH1. That boy, he's definitely mine. We'll be right back.
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about cicadas. Billions of them have been emerging from the ground, taking over parks, backyards, and sidewalks, even some kitchens. Oh! But not everybody has been a part of this cicada party. We recently received an email from a Leesburg viewer named Jen saying her backyard is empty. So let's verify. What are the main reasons that cicadas may not be in your neighborhood? Our source is Michael Raup, a professor emeritus at the University of Maryland, aka the bug guy.
Somebody's got to be the bug guy. It might as well be me.
Rupp says one big reason is land use, because remember, the cicadas we see today were born 17 years ago and have been growing underground ever since.
New developments, let's say past 2004, simply are unlikely to have cicadas again if they've been deforested. Just like Joni Mitchell said, you know, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. No more cicadas.
This is also why cicadas are less prevalent in cities. 17 years ago, the cicada nymphs had no place to go due to all that pavement. So what trees do cicadas like?
I'm seeing a lot of cicadas now in oak trees, in maple trees, in elm trees. They tend not to like the gymnosperms, evergreens, things like spruces and other trees with very dense needled foliage and branches.
But what if you have one of those trees that they like in your backyard, but for some reason, you just have no cicadas?
They're very patchy. They may have emerged, but they may have gone off down the street 100 yards. That's where they're laying eggs. And it can be as simple as 100 yards down the road.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, you got comments?
Yes, Marvin from Facebook says, I think she did a good job exposing the lack of security, not just in her daughter's school, but all schools in the United States. That's about, of course, the mom posing. Robin from Facebook says, they can take my brother to space if they want. Robin. Wah, wah. Lauren says, no one should be forced to be in the military. I do not believe in a draft. And that's a whole other conversation,
yes, it
right?
is.
Conscription is a whole other conversation. And Cindy says, Sam was wrong. Elephants can smell up to 12 miles away.
I think in her book it says 20 kilometers.
Yes, it's 20 kilometers. You are correct.
Which may be around 12 miles.
12
so
miles.
She's right. I'm right too.
How far could a mouse smell?
Oh.
Or a rat, sorry.
Yeah, the rat
Was that
can smell
discriminatory?
3.2 feet.
3.2
feet, not much. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Shannon Doherty is accepting her age and swearing off things like Botox. She's explaining why. Plus, Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl into the world. Will their bouncing bundle of joy mend the rift among the royals? DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. If you guys are just now joining us, things look a little different. We're 4 of us back here. It's been a year and 3 months, and we're all here at the desks together. No plexiglass. Pretty crazy, isn't it? All right, so let's get started. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle welcomed a baby girl over the weekend named Lilibet Diana. The royal family posted a wedding photo of the couple on social media saying they were delighted with the news. Lilibet is Harry and Meghan's second child and the Queen's 11th great-grandchild. Prince William and Kate also posted a sweet note to the couple saying they were delighted at the arrival of baby Lily. So, of course, Stephanie Jones is here to give us some insight as to how Brits are responding to the news. Steph?
Well, as you mentioned, Sam, the royal family is just thrilled with the arrival of baby Lilibet Diana. So Lily, as she will be called, was born on Friday in Santa Barbara and weighed 7 pounds 11 ounces. The two names are very close to Prince Harry's heart. It's the well-known that Lilibet is the Queen's nickname, shortened for Elizabeth. Diana, of course, is his late mother. William and Kate's daughter Charlotte also has the middle names Elizabeth and Diana too. But one royal expert said it was rude for Harry and Meghan to name their daughter after the Queen's special and private nickname. And Piers Morgan wished the couple well, but also said that the name was ironic given that Harry and Meghan have been, quote, trashing the royal family. So what do you guys think of the name? I think it's really cute.
I do too, Steph, and I'm like really disgusted with how people are so quick to a new life came into the world. Okay, strip away the fact, I love Erica's face right now, strip away the fact that this is a royal family, a royal baby. It doesn't matter. This is a life coming into the world, and people have their claws out ready to take this family down.
Always.
Yeah, I wish somebody would tell me what I could and could not do with my grandmama.
Yeah.
Okay. Pierce needs to stand down. Just stand down. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. How are you going to say, how do you not know that they didn't have a conversation with the Queen about what they were going to do? And you're going to chime in to say that?
Steph,
it's
is
weird.
Anybody sticking up for them? Like, do you see across the pond anybody like loving them, or it seems?
I think all the trolls are out in full force, aren't they? As you said, this is a newborn baby. It's their first baby daughter. How amazing to join little Archie. And I think this royal expert, I mean, I just think she's trying to get her 2 cents in to try and like sell herself. She's one of those that sells all these biographies on people but hasn't actually collaborated with them to do it. So yeah, I'm not sold on her exclusive, you know, insider information. And when you think, you know, Harry's so close to his grandma, he's made that very abundantly clear, and that name is something that's been passed down from her grandfather because she couldn't pronounce her own name, and then her husband called her it. So it's actually very endearing, and I think this is their way of having an olive branch back with the family.
See, I love Steph's point of view. Let's go with that. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and that's normal to adopt family names.
I've done it. It's
respectful.
It's a respect thing, right? You take your grandparents' name or somebody that was important to you, and you give that child a middle name. Both of my sons are named after our grandparents, so it has nothing to do with stepping away from the royal family or being disrespectful to them. It's respectful to name people after your mother who passed away and after your grandmother who you adore.
Yeah, knock, knock. Yeah. Knock, knock, who's there? Not Piers Morgan. Get out of here. Okay. Beat it. Wow. I stole one from you.
Okay. Steph, thank you so much for your insights.
Thanks,
and always being positive. That's the way it should be. Gosh, this poor family with their new baby. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather failed to beat YouTube star Logan Paul during an exhibition boxing match. Floyd, who is 44, went all 8 rounds with the 26-year-old YouTuber. Floyd threw most of the punches, but there were no winner during the pay-per-view exhibition fight. A winner could only be named if the match was stopped or if there was a knockout. But some fans say the fight was fixed because Floyd was seen holding up Logan to stop him from falling. And to prevent the fight from being stopped early. It's reported that Floyd could take home $100 million from the match. Wow. Do you think this was fixed?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like. Listen. I think the only reason they watch these brothers, Logan and Jake, is to see them get punched in the face. That's kind of their selling point. And I'm not trying to be mean. It sounds terrible, but it is. People tune in. I didn't want to pay $50 to watch this. I'm a huge fan of MMA, UFC, boxing. This is kind of more like WWE wrestling style. It is kind of fixed. It looks like he dropped them there, but he wanted to still entertain. There's no way this guy had a shot, legit shot, at beating Floyd Mayweather.
So I don't know boxing, but are you saying Mayweather just like didn't try?
No, he tried.
No, I watched the whole fight. My husband and I watched the whole fight.
Okay,
we paid the $50. First of all, there was a whole thing on pay-per-view. Nobody could get it because it got overrun. That's how many people tried to tune in. So to your point, a lot of people did want to see Logan Paul get punched because he doesn't have the best reputation.
Right.
However, he did such a good job, and I was not prepared to say that. He really did. I mean, we know how fast Mayweather is, right? Unbelievable the way that he was able to dodge Mayweather's punches. To your point also, was Mayweather playing it easy for him?
Right here, he's out. He held him up. He's just
so that's out.
He's in an exhibition match with him. Floyd's getting a workout here. He's not fighting professionally.
Although Floyd is also 42 years old and he's also 6. You didn't watch the fight, so how can you have something to say?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I only dated a guy whose father was the heavyweight champion.
No, but that's not my point.
No, I'm just simply saying I've watched more boxing than most people. I'm just looking at this saying that's not what I normally see. First of all, I didn't have an opinion. You came for me. I never said a word. I never said a word. But what I'm saying is, I looked at you. I didn't say anything.
No one's giving
all I'm saying is, when you see traditional historical boxing, you don't see that. And I think that Floyd Mayweather is just giving people a show because he can. And that's it. I don't think that he actually was realistically fighting this guy. And this is also a pattern over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that was my thoughts, believe me, before watching the show. And that's why I jumped on you, because I'm jumping on myself. My husband and I were like, Logan Paul is going to get knocked out.
And he did well.
Logan, he lasted 8 rounds. Again, did Mayweather, was this Mayweather's best, shape of his life, considering he hasn't been boxing for a while? Was he playing it easy? I don't know. But if you watch all 8 rounds, it's pretty impressive that Logan Paul lasted that long, despite whether or not Mayweather came 100%, 50%, or 70%. So I don't like Logan Paul. I got to give him a little bit of credit for lasting the 8 rounds. I
give both those brothers credit. A lot of people just want to see him get knocked out.
Who is Jake?
They're just 2 brothers that
they're
are
YouTubers,
but
aren't they?
They're cashing in on this success.
I don't like
so,
them.
Hey, I'm not going to hate the game that they're spitting out.
I can't believe he lasted 8 rounds with him. I just could not believe
He didn't, because he was knocked out right there.
You guys should have seen the fight. Let me tell you, you can't judge it from that little clip.
I'm $50 richer.
You are. Okay, so Shannon Doherty is getting real about aging in Hollywood. Shannon, who is 50, posted an unfiltered selfie on Instagram. In the caption, she wrote that while watching movies, she noticed there were few female characters without a facelift, fillers, and Botox. She added that her face reflects her life and that she is done with the way magazines in Hollywood portray women. Shannon has been battling breast cancer since 2015. It recently came back at stage 4. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow. What did you think, Tori, of her post about Hollywood being almost this culture of like you almost expect it,
right?
Botox, no lines.
Right.
It's almost like they all
like
look
seamless.
The same.
Yeah,
right.
I got to be honest. And after seeing the Friends reunion, I was like, too much Botox, people.
Who?
Everybody. Really? Everybody looked too weird.
Even
to
Jennifer
me.
Aniston?
I thought she looked really weird. And I'm being honest here. So here's the deal. I think Lisa Kudrow, who didn't have her face, she had some wrinkles. My husband was like, that's the best looking one up there because she looks like a woman, like a normal person. So I'm with Shannon. I do get a little Botox now and again. I'm not going to lie. But when you overdo it, you've looked like a caricature of yourself. So aging with Botox, you got to play a fine line or else you are, what is that? That's what happened to me when I saw Friends.
I do agree that there are certain characteristics that start to look the same.
Yeah.
And but I'm not against people deciding to do things to their face.
Erica, because your face is.
I know.
Yeah. I'm not trying to come for you, but your face is perfect.
It's true.
Well, thank you. I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate it.
That's true.
Well, thank you. I really feel like it's something that, for me, I want to see what happens, because the older I get, the more characteristics I take on with women that I loved and adored and want to emulate. So I think I would never say I would never get anything done, but right now I enjoy going, looking in the mirror and seeing my grandmother, seeing those characteristics.
And Jeff, you recently, you talk about it on the show, you got Botox.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we talk about this because it feels like it's only about women.
Totally.
And I don't want it to only be about women.
No.
Do you feel the pressure?
I don't feel pressure. I just want to look good for myself, too. My wife loves that stuff, and she's like, maybe you get a little bit here, maybe a little bit
Jordan.
here. So I go with her, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I don't mind doing it. I don't mind talking about doing it, but I don't feel a pressure necessarily. And I don't know if this is a gender thing. It probably is, but see how nervous I get when I talk about gender? I'm like, am I offending somebody? Am I going to get fired?
No, you're not going to get fired.
Well, there's 4 people up there. If there's 3 tomorrow, you'll know why. But I don't feel the pressure necessarily as a man.
Yeah, I think it's women aging. It's almost unheard of at this point. And you didn't see roles for women. Like Jean Smart in the new Hacks, she's finally there's an older woman you get to see finally, like Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin. You just didn't see older women in a long time.
Do you feel pressure because you look a little weathered?
Yeah, so do you. You should go check. Were you riding in the back of a truck or something?
We're getting spicy.
Yeah. Side note, you mentioned Hacks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that show, I binged it yesterday.
It's good.
It was amazing.
Hacks. And Jean Smart's terrific in it. She's like a Las Vegas comedian, a little older.
Comedian?
Yeah.
Have I been saying comedian wrong this whole time?
For women,
you
comedian
in the back of a truck story?
The what?
What does that mean?
Is it comedian or comedian?
Comedian if you want to say it in a feminine way. E-N-N-E. Comedian if you want to just say for male. Wait, I am a comedian, so don't try and check me on this. It's comedian
Well, we are really out the
or comedian.
I like it. I like the fire. Okay, we're back.
Don't check me, random person up there.
Coming up on DBL, a story about the family bonds that hold us together. We'll meet a young man who spent 2 decades searching for his birth mother and found her. And our DBL staff working hard at home during the pandemic, but we're slowly and safely getting people back in the studio. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
There may be a silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. According to reports, there has been so little flu that a couple of strains may have gone extinct. Let's connect the dots. One side effect of COVID-19 has been a non-existent flu season. Experts say everything we did to stop COVID, face masks, social distancing, school closures, more hand washing, also helped flu cases drop to historic lows. According to Stat News, it's not just that we haven't had a lot of flu cases, but also that 2 strains of it were not reported anywhere. Viruses need a host to survive. With the flu, it usually passes from person to person in order to continue existing, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere as the seasons change. Stat News says since March 2020, no cases from one subtype of influenza A and one lineage of influenza B have been reported. Now, just because no cases were reported doesn't necessarily mean they are gone, but it is a good sign. Experts say it could make your yearly flu vaccine more effective. Each year, the experts have to figure out which strains will spread and make a vaccine using that educated guess. With fewer types of flu to pick from, there is a greater chance that educated guess is right.
Welcome back back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about family as we follow one man's persistent search for his biological mom. Take a look at this heartwarming story.
This son found his biological mother after 20 years of searching. Brian Lucas and his sisters were put in foster care as children, and each were adopted by different families across the country.
We actually all lost each other. I found my brothers and sisters all around when I was about 13, 14, and just started pulling thread, finding more family members. She's the last one. She's the last one.
Brian hadn't seen his mom since he was 10, but he's been using social media for help.
I've always posted about her, but I never posted in the right place.
Brian's most recent attempt received hundreds of shares and comments.
Somebody said, I know who that is, that's the same name, it's the same face, and I know where she lives. And they said, this is the address, and they gave it to me. And I gave it to my cousin. They confirmed, the neighbor said, that's her, and I just rushed up there as soon as I could.
After driving 2 hours and 30 minutes, Brian and his mother finally reunited.
I dreamed it, but I never knew I was going to see it. I didn't know. Kids, everybody was. My mom and daddy passed, and I didn't know if anybody was still here or not.
Thanks to Brian's determination and the power of social media, this story has a happy ending.
Without, Facebook 10 years ago, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, we'll be right back.
After a year of canceled trips and blown plans, 2021 is all about making up for lost time. And with the weather heating up and pools opening back up, what could go wrong? A national lifeguard shortage. So let's verify, is there really a nationwide lifeguard shortage? Here are sources.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Wernick.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Mondick.
Both our experts confirmed that yes, there is a shortage nationwide.
A lack of interest, the pandemic, the halt to the foreign exchange, people aging out, all these are the perfect storm.
Our two experts say that many areas rely on foreign exchange students here with J1 visas. Just look at State Department numbers from the last 5 years. You'll see that they dropped by about 83% in 2020. That's because President Trump suspended new J1 visa applications at the start of the pandemic. It just expired in April.
Typically, we have a lot of overseas staff that come to patrol our beaches and our water parks in the summer. And because of the pandemic, those staff are not available to come over on their visas.
So we can verify that nationally, as a whole, yes, there's a lifeguard shortage. But whether or not your local pool is going to be affected depends on where you live. Glad summer's finally here. This is Evan Kozloff with your Verify.
Tomorrow on DBL, host of Let's Make a Deal, Wayne Brady, will be here live. He's telling us all about his new project with Glenn Close that's really close to his heart. That's tomorrow, only on DBL.
Did you just wink? Yeah. Erica said to Tori, did you just wink? Welcome back to DBL. When it comes to getting quality, adequate sleep every night, exercise plays a huge role in that. We're chatting about it in DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. People who exercise are almost twice as likely to get solid sleep compared to non-exercisers. It doesn't have to be strenuous activity. It can be a brisk walk or a bike ride. As long as you're doing an activity for 20 to 25 minutes a day, you'll be burning enough calories to prepare your body for better rest. It's also important to try to go to sleep around the same time every night to keep your internal clocks in check. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy, regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I never really thought of it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
What?
To really work out so you can get a better night's sleep. I feel like you're the sleep expert because, you know,
I can
your
sleep.
chili pad,
The loaded,
yeah,
the weighted blanket.
She
has
right.
the bed.
I do believe in, I would never go out and buy an expensive vehicle, but I would definitely pay more than most for a bed. And hands down.
You
hands
spend
down.
you spend like a third of your life in there. You might want to put some money into it at that point.
That's the mattress salesman go-to. Like, oh, work this out.
It's true.
Think about how much you sleep and how long you actually live. You're like, hey,
Erica, you have good tips. Will you give us 3 tips for a good night's sleep? She does.
Okay, so you definitely need a way to darken the room because that's very important, especially in the morning if you're trying to sleep in.
Yeah.
A lot of people have anxiety issues. For me, a weighted blanket is really great, and you can get one that's like 10 pounds, and I have one that's like 25 pounds. And also, if you can change the temperature so that when you're sleeping with someone else, it doesn't get too hot or too cold, an ULA or a chili pad is very highly recommended.
I told you, Jeff. See, Jeff didn't. I told you.
We talk about mattress salesperson. I just bought all of those right now.
I'm like, throw on curb and go to sleep.
All right, we'll be right back with a surprise you don't want to miss. Trust me.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about cicadas. Billions of them have been emerging from the ground, taking over parks, backyards, and sidewalks, even some kitchens. Oh! But not everybody has been a part of this cicada party. We recently received an email from a Leesburg viewer named Jen saying her backyard is empty. So let's verify. What are the main reasons that cicadas may not be in your neighborhood? Our source is Michael Raup, a professor emeritus at the University of Maryland, aka the bug guy.
Somebody's got to be the bug guy. It might as well be me.
Rupp says one big reason is land use, because remember, the cicadas we see today were born 17 years ago and have been growing underground ever since.
New developments, let's say past 2004, simply are unlikely to have cicadas again if they've been deforested. Just like Joni Mitchell said, you know, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. No more cicadas.
This is also why cicadas are less prevalent in cities. 17 years ago, the cicada nymphs had no place to go due to all that pavement. So what trees do cicadas like?
I'm seeing a lot of cicadas now in oak trees, in maple trees, in elm trees. They tend not to like the gymnosperms, evergreens, things like spruces and other trees with very dense needled foliage and branches.
But what if you have one of those trees that they like in your backyard, but for some reason, you just have no cicadas?
They're very patchy. They may have emerged, but they may have gone off down the street 100 yards. That's where they're laying eggs. And it can be as simple as 100 yards down the road.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, we want to wish Big Jeff a happy birthday, who celebrated his big day over the weekend. So don't think that we forgot about you. In fact, we have a little surprise from your favorite person of all time.
This is for Jeff Schroeder from your co-workers at Daily Blast Live. Well, you've been around the sun another time, Jeff. That means you're a year older. One time around the sun is a year. Now, we were both on Big Brother. I'm in London and you're in LA. Okay. I won.
Gary!
You didn't.
It's official, Jeff. You are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Okay, you didn't, but you met a lady who won. So that makes you a co-winner with her if she allows it, only with her permission. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jeff Schroeder. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy, 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 happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Jeff Schroeder.
That's why I love that guy. Oh my God, that was so good.
It's longer. It's way longer. I saw a snippet of
Could
it.
I get that?
Yes, you can get that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God, that
yours,
was
buddy.
the best.
It's yours.
That was
That
right,
is
yeah.
hilarious. It was
a great
such
one.
a Gary Busey rendition of Gary Busey. You know what I mean? It was so Gary Busey.
That was like the best. He committed and he went long.
Yeah.
Made it a little personal. Gary Busey won Big Brother?
Oh, whew. Apparently he won.
I know. I thought it was going to be Tori playing the guitar.
Oh yeah, it should have been me playing Gary Busey playing the guitar.
That was classic.
That was very good. Thank you, everybody. That was good. And usually I don't like surprises. That was a good one.
Yay!
That was a very good one.
There's even more from Gary, so make sure if you want to see more of Gary's birthday message to Jeff, go view the full video. You can go to Daily Blast Live's YouTube channel and you can see the whole shebang.
I like Cameo. I think it's great.
I know. Remember we did
Steve Guttenberg for me.
For you.
Best gift. It's a great gift. It's just like maybe he does know me now. He doesn't. Like I thought we would like end up being like somewhat friends and like maybe go out for coffee. It didn't happen.
Erica, who would your dream cameo be? Would it be someone from The Housewives, or would it be Lionel Richie? Who would it be?
No, it would be. I don't know. I didn't know. Like, I really don't know.
How much would you charge is a better question.
Yeah.
How much do you think he charges?
You know, Al's on it.
Yeah, tell me after.
I will.
I'm on
Yeah.
it too. Me and my wife.
Do you do it often? Do people choose you?
Yeah.
Do people choose Jordan more than you?
No, we're together. So if you like Jordan, you got to get me.
All right, well, DBL is new every day. We will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
This is for Jeff Schroeder from your co-workers at Daily Blast Live.
We're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
A mom poses as her 13-year-old daughter for a day of middle school?
I am gonna get so caught. I'm actually really scared now.
Why'd she do it? Jeff Bezos is going to space. Is this a risky move for the world's richest man? Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl. The story behind her adorable royal name. And R&B superstar Monica, from her new true crime series to reuniting with Brandy.
We knew that it had to end with the boy is mine.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Our stage manager is back. Welcome to DBL. It is Monday, June 7th. I'm Sam, here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. Look at this. This is weird.
I know.
This is so weird.
I know.
It's been a year and 3 months. March 13th was the last time we've all been in the studio. There's some producers are here. Wow. Ira,
don't forget about that little cutie
Ira's
over there.
Here.
Ira wore a name tag.
Because
it's been
forget you, Ira. And slowly but surely, we will be reintroducing more of our staff. Crazy,
Feels
crazy,
good.
crazy. Okay. And how was your birthday weekend, really
It was
quick?
great.
Yes.
It was great. Yeah, just chilled. You know, that's what I like. I went fishing with my kids. That's all I wanted to do.
Weird.
What? I know. It kind of feels like back up, man. You know, but yeah,
You went
it's very
fishing
good.
with the kids.
Barbecued at night. That's all I wanted.
Oh, that's so Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Super Jeff.
And his birthday is a milestone because his birthday fell on our audition.
That's right.
Or our audition fell on his birthday,
That's
I should
right.
say.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's been 4 years since we all been together.
Well, the gang's back.
4 years now.
Without plexiglass, of course. Yeah. Okay, so you guys may wonder, how safe are kids in school, right? Well, this Texas mom tried to prove a point by ending up, well, she got arrested and is now facing criminal charges. So this is what she did. She recorded herself impersonating her 13-year-old daughter and went to her middle school posing as a 7th grader. You see in the video, that's her. She says she did it to expose the lax security at the school. Take a look.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, and yourself?
Great.
I've been here all day. Face to face with teachers. Well, I finally got caught. I told them that I would go to the principal's office, so I guess we're gonna see what happens.
We need better security at our schools. This is what I tried to prove. And I don't mean to be curt, but I kind of feel like I proved it.
Well, what do you think about what this mom did? And do you think that she has a point that school security is not strong enough? Now, when I first heard this story this morning, because we have a morning meeting every morning, I thought, okay, how could a teacher not recognize that this is not the student that they've had all year? However, with the mask, she wore broad glasses, not sunglasses, but glasses. She looks young herself, so I'm not going to blame the teachers here. So now it does boil down to, are schools as secure as we hope they would be, Erica? What do you make of this? And should the mom have done this?
It's certainly alarming and it's extreme, but if she was trying to prove a point, I believe she did prove it. However, you also have to take into account the same way that we started the show. It's been a year and some months.
That's fair.
And some of these teachers may not have been her daughter's teachers before, and the last thing you're going to do is comment on a child's appearance. So the fact that there were so many other factors involved, I mean, yes, we do need safer schools. Was this the right way to prove it? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought your point, we had talked about this earlier, was really fair, that it's not necessarily the people coming from out of the schools, it's the kids in the schools that we're not paying attention to. So I just wanted you to go on with that. I thought it was a great point.
Yeah, because no one's sneaking into schools, and let's talk about it. School shootings, right? No one's sneaking in to do school shootings. It's the kids that go there. So maybe we should focus more on the mental health of the children rather than if someone's faking to be their daughter or not that's wearing a mask. I wouldn't know. Maybe this girl's not even popular and no one cares.
Dude.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're all back back together again. Let's do
Dude,
it.
he kicked the dirt off the shoes.
That's right.
Let me tell you. Okay. Did I do it? Say
That's
it
not
right?
even
That's not at all right.
I was picking up what you were laying down.
No. Kick the dirt off the shoes.
Holy moly.
And I got that from you, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because you say that all the time.
Yeah,
But
kick the dirt off the tires.
Yeah, but I got it wrong. But I got it from you, though.
All right, maybe I'll use yours.
I think mine's better. Okay, a billionaire is headed to space. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos made the announcement today, posting a video to Instagram. He's also inviting his brother. Take a look.
I want to go on this flight because it's a thing I've wanted to do all my life. It's an adventure. It's a big deal for me. I invited my brother to come on this first flight because we're closest friends. I really want you to come with me. Would you?
Are you serious?
I am. I think it would be meaningful.
Well, Bezos will be the first of the billionaires competing in the space race to go, beating out Richard Branson and Elon Musk. So what do you guys think of the decision to go? Tori, you have a frown on your face.
This rubbed me the wrong way. And I know I'm going to get in it with Erica, I think. But here's the deal. I really do. I really do. Because I think, here's the deal. Maybe he can find his tax money in space. Maybe he can actually help Americans by, like, leaving this space, the atmosphere, and actually doing something for this country. I find this snobby. I find this entitled. I find this privilege. I find, like, I'm going to take my brother. Well, there's a lot to fix here, and you could do it with a check. So I have a real hard time with Bezos. I know Erica disagrees.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think I always tell you to stay out of people's bedrooms and out of people's wallets.
That's right.
My take doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more so like out of all the races, I would not want to be the first to go to space. Like, if my brother called me and was like, sure thing, I'd be like, bro, first of all, have you talked to mom? Like, that's just so strange to me. But I understand this is a big thing for people. It just feels like I'd rather be like fifth.
How can you poo-poo going to space? I would go to space. Would you go to space?
I don't know if I'd go to space.
What?
I'd go to the moon.
That's in space.
What planet
yeah, but unless you're doing
on?
something, Earth. That's what we're talking about.
How could you not want to go to
you
space?
just go on a real high plane ride. What's the difference?
You get to see the atmosphere. Remember that guy, Baumgartner?
Yeah,
I don't think it's that cool.
Remember the Red Bull Baumgartner dude? That do you remember his view? Do you remember seeing the Earth's atmosphere and you see the entire Earth as a whole, like meaning as a globe, as a circle?
Have you seen SpaceX?
You're not just way up in the air.
But SpaceX has a lot of faults, and they have not landed all of their landings. So I kind of agree with Erica. At this point, I'm not sure I'd be ready for this.
Maybe not be the first.
Maybe not the first.
Maybe the fifth.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got a really touching graduation story for you all. Timothy Harrison showed up at work at Waffle House instead of going to his graduation, all because he didn't have a ride across town. But his co-workers band together, bought him an outfit, and drove him to the ceremony. Here's what Harrison and his store manager said about it.
That's when I said, of course, why would you take off your graduation? And he was like, well, I didn't want to miss work. So I was like, well, you're going.
I got people who want to see me succeed. So that kind of had me excited.
Wow. And now a local community college there has offered him a full ride scholarship. Yes. Would we do this for one another?
I would hope so, or do it like for one of our children or something. That he learned, not only is he going to get a college education now for free, he's going to learn a life lesson, like how to treat people, how to help others out. And if you help others out, let them succeed. You could pull people up while you're up there as well. So I love this story. I wish we did more of them.
Yeah, I also think when my dad said he missed a funeral once, and he just said 99% of life is showing up. And they knew it'd be important that he walked. It's important that he was there. It's important.
I think
it's important. You want me to do it again? It's important.
But it's important that we also think about things as a community too, because it's a beautiful gift when you have someone in your life who supports you. And if people don't have that type of support system, it doesn't take a whole lot to offer that to someone. So I think that's something we can all take away from them.
Amen, Erica. All right, well, quickly, before we go to break, we have to give a big DBL shout out to this little rat named Magawa. He's been honored for his work helping sniff out landmines in Cambodia. He even got this little medal that's hanging around his neck. He's also retiring after 5 years, and in that time, he is credited with finding 71 landmines and 38 unexploded bombs. When I thought about this story, I thought about your world travels, because didn't you go there?
Yes. I went to Cambodia. I didn't know, I was too busy learning about the killing fields in Pol Pot when I got to Cambodia, which I didn't know about. I thought this was a real problem in Laos, which is like Thailand, and Laos is right up here. I know this is still a big problem. There's a lot of people that had their limbs blown off. I don't mean to be graphic, but this is still a huge problem. It's from the war. So this rat.
Did you know, was rats a thing when you were there? Did you know that rats were sniffing out mines?
No. I didn't.
They're lightweight enough to not hurt themselves, and they can smell and cover a tennis court worth of field in 30 minutes. But humans take 4 days to do the same. Wow. So this little guy is really, he's part of Hero Rats, an organization of rodents.
Whoa, and I wonder how far he can sniff. Like, did you know an elephant can smell water 22 miles away? Wow. That is insane, you guys. Think about that. So I'm wondering what his smell range is.
I don't know, but you got me so curious. Come back.
Well, good to be back.
Oh, God.
Now you can punch me.
Coming up on DBL, Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl into the world, but is the royal family sending their best wishes after all the drama? Plus, we're chatting with R&B superstar Monica from her new true crime series to Reunited with Brandy. She is dishing the deets. And should women be required to register for the draft? Why some argue the current men-only draft is sexist. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
There may be a silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. According to reports, there has been so little flu that a couple of strains may have gone extinct. Let's connect the dots. One side effect of COVID-19 has been a non-existent flu season. Experts say everything we did to stop COVID, face masks, social distancing, school closures, more hand washing, also helped flu cases drop to historic lows. According to Stat News, it's not just that we haven't had a lot of flu cases, but also that 2 strains of it were not reported anywhere. Viruses need a host to survive. With the flu, it usually passes from person to person in order to continue existing, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere as the seasons change. Stat News says since March 2020, no cases from one subtype of influenza A and one lineage of influenza B have been reported. Now, just because no cases were reported doesn't necessarily mean they are gone, but it is a good sign. Experts say it could make your yearly flu vaccine more effective. Each year, the experts have to figure out which strains will spread and make a vaccine using that educated guess. With fewer types of flu to pick from, there is a greater chance that educated guess is right.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our co-workers tuning in from home. A lot of them are still working remotely, but we are slowly getting more and more people back into the studio, safely and according, of course, to CDC guidelines. So is the military draft sexist? That's the question the Supreme Court is being asked to decide. Men are required to register for the draft at 18. But women are not, and some say that is sex discrimination. Men who don't register face a felony punishable by a fine and 5 years in prison, but women face no penalties. So is that fair, and should women be eligible for the draft? Before we talk, go to dblvote.com. Tell us what you think. We always love to hear from you. Tori, what do you make of this?
Surprisingly, I think that women should definitely be made to register to be in the draft, which we haven't had in many, many years. If I want freedom and equality, that's got to go both ways. And it can't be that the men get punished for one thing and women don't. If you're going to protect a class, which is a protected class, women, gender, then you got to do it both ways. So I am fully for women participating in Navy SEAL training. If they can make it, that's great. Front lines, combat, engineering, anything has to be up for grabs. Now, I know a lot of people at home right now are saying who's going to stay home and take care of the kids, and that's a real issue. But at that point, maybe the husband stays home if the wife has aspirations.
You just brought up a really great point that I don't think a lot of us have thought about, because conventionally speaking, if you think back to Vietnam, right, most of the homes, the dependents are dependent on the mother, right? Most of the time, not all the time. Now, things have changed over the years, but for the most part, it's still not 50-50. So what if it's just dependent specific? Like a man, I don't know the details here, but if a father has kids, Erica, they shouldn't be drafted. If a woman is a single mom and
but then
has
you're
kids,
being penalized for not having kids.
No, drafted. You're not being penalized.
But some people think the draft is a penalty at some point.
Well, if you have kids, your kids can't go.
They save one. It's that Private Ryan effect, right? So if you have 5 sons and they all get drafted, they're going to save one of those sons. So your name lives on. That's how it used to be.
So no. So if you're a parent, though, and you're a single parent and you have 3 kids depending on you, you're eligible for draft? That can't be right.
A good. Oh,
that's
I see what you're saying.
That cannot be right. If you're a single mother or a single father.
I see what
But you got to think, too, this isn't the 60s anymore, right? 18 years old, you're getting drafted. Maybe families started earlier back then. 18-year-old, now you don't really think of families, right?
This is kind of a crazy topic to me, because I agree with Tori on one hand, but in order to express your freedom and equity and equality, that also means you have to have it. And the truth is, women do not have full autonomy over their bodies in this country. And also, the idea of sexual harassment and some of the issues that are happening in the military
that's a good point.
are grave. If you speak to female veterans or people who are active duty, they will tell you that there are situations where they do not feel safe. Until that is resolved for the women who are volunteering and enlisting, then we can't even really have this conversation, can we?
Because it's not equitable at the first place.
That is fair. A great conversation and a great point. 66% of you say yes, women should be eligible for the draft. Interesting. So coming up on DBL, Shannon Doherty is getting real about aging, why she's ditching the Botox. And next, we're catching up with Monica, you guys. Is the boy hers or Brandy's? That's coming up next.
After a year of canceled trips and blown plans, 2021 is all about making up for lost time. And with the weather heating up and pools opening back up, what could go wrong? A national lifeguard shortage. So let's verify, is there really a nationwide lifeguard shortage? Here are sources.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Wernick.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Mondick.
Both our experts confirmed that yes, there is a shortage nationwide.
A lack of interest, the pandemic, the halt to the foreign exchange, people aging out, all these are the perfect storm.
Our 2 experts say that many areas rely on foreign exchange students here with J1 visas. Just look at State Department numbers from the last 5 years. You'll see that they dropped by about 83% in 2020. That's because President Trump suspended new J1 visa applications at the start of the pandemic. It just expired in April.
Typically, we have a lot of overseas staff that come to patrol our beaches and our water parks in the summer. And because of the pandemic, those staff are not available to come over on their visas.
So we can verify that nationally, as a whole, yes, there's a lifeguard shortage. But whether or not your local pool is going to be affected depends on where you live. Glad summer's finally here. This is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Welcome back to DBL. That's Grammy award-winning singer Monica's new music video, Trenches. And we caught up with Miss Thang herself earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars. Welcome to DBL. We have a lot to talk about, including your new celebrity true crime series plus new music. It's been more than 20 years since you earned a Grammy with fellow R&B singer Brandy for The Boy Is Mine. And I want to know the best part about reuniting with Brandy for the Versus battle, which you won, by the way.
For me, I felt like it was a win for the culture in a lot of different facets. And I'll tell you why. We had not come together or done anything together in almost a decade at that point. And I wanted it to be special. And we knew that it had to end with The Boy Is Mine.
Yes.
There's no song to play after The Boy Is Mine.
Right.
And they made it all happen. So I'm really glad that we were able to do something like that.
You just released the title track off your upcoming new album, Trenches, which features rapper Lil Baby. What can you tell us about it?
That record is special to me. It is the title track off my new album, which is now done.
Yeah.
It's being mixed and mastered. It took me a very long time. It is a very transparent record. I am talking that talk, as we say.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, congrats to that. Now, you're super busy. You're hosting the new true crime series show on VH1 called Infamy, When Fame Turns Deadly. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Infamy was a dream come true for me. I grew up being a big fan of true crime series. Snapped, First 48, America's Most Wanted. All those shows were shows I watched. And this one kind of parallels in different ways. But what I love most about Infamy is it really takes you through a walk of who the victims were from their childhood, where they were born and raised, and what their life was really like. And then it also gives you a chance to hear from the people that are still mourning their loss. We talk to mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers, and you realize how these tragedies really changed lives.
The price of fame can be deadly.
I like that the spotlight is on the victim and surviving family and not the perpetrator, which we often see in true crime. Well, you've been using your voice, Monica, to speak about other important topics. You recently shared that you are recovering from surgery related to endometriosis. My mom has had that. It is incredibly painful. Why was it so important to share this experience with other women? Because I know some women have never even heard of it, which is crazy to me.
Well, I had never heard of it just 4 years ago when I was diagnosed. Endometriosis is extremely painful, and women monthly feel like suffering is a part of the deal when you're a woman. But you find out when you learn about endometriosis that we shouldn't be in excruciating pain. And you learn that every age can suffer from endometriosis. So once I was diagnosed, I initially had the first surgery, and it was not like the second. The second was very hard. I was in the hospital a week, and I ended up having multiple blood transfusions. But now being on a bit of the mends and recovering, I've become somewhat of an advocate because I want women to know what this disease is, and I want them to know that there is help for them.
Spread the word to all your female friends. Gentlemen, get to know the word endometriosis, and thank Monica for speaking out about it. Monica, it's been an honest pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, DBL Nation. Be sure to watch the premiere of Infamy, When Fame Turns Deadly, when it premieres June 7th on VH1. That boy, he's definitely mine. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about cicadas. Billions of them have been emerging from the ground, taking over parks, backyards, and sidewalks, even some kitchens. Oh! But not everybody has been a part of this cicada party. We recently received an email from a Leesburg viewer named Jen saying her backyard is empty. So let's verify. What are the main reasons that cicadas may not be in your neighborhood? Our source is Michael Raup, a professor emeritus at the University of Maryland, aka the bug guy.
Somebody's got to be the bug guy. It might as well be me.
Raup says one big reason is land use, because remember, the cicadas we see today were born 17 years ago and have been growing underground ever since.
New developments, let's say past 2004, simply are unlikely to have cicadas again if they've been deforested. Just like Joni Mitchell said, you know, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. No more cicadas.
This is also why cicadas are less prevalent in cities. 17 years ago, the cicada nymphs had no place to go due to all that pavement. So what trees do cicadas like?
I'm seeing a lot of cicadas now in oak trees, in maple trees, in elm trees. They tend not to like the gymnosperms, evergreens, things like spruces and other trees with very dense needled foliage and branches.
But what if you have one of those trees that they like in your backyard, but for some reason you just have no cicadas?
They're very patchy. They may have emerged, but they may have gone off down the street 100 yards. That's where they're laying eggs. And it can be as simple as 100 yards down the road.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, you got comments?
Yes, Marvin from Facebook says, I think she did a good job exposing the lack of security, not just in her daughter's school, but all schools in the United States. That's about, of course, the mom posing. Robin from Facebook says, they can take my brother to space if they want. Robin. Wah, wah. Lauren says, no one should be forced to be in the military. I do not believe in a draft. And that's a whole other conversation,
yes, it
right?
is.
Conscription is a whole other conversation. And Cindy says, Sam was wrong. Elephants can smell up to 12 miles away.
I think in her book it says 20 kilometers.
Yes, it's 20 kilometers. You are correct.
Which may be around 12 miles.
12
so
miles.
She's right. I'm right too.
How far could a mouse smell?
Oh.
Or a rat, sorry.
Yeah, the rat can smell 3.2 feet. 3.2 feet, not much. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube, but if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Shannon Doherty is accepting her age and swearing off things like Botox. She's explaining why. Plus, Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl into the world. Will their bouncing bundle of joy mend the rift among the royals? DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. If you guys are just now joining us, things look a little different. We're 4 of us back here. It's been a year and 3 months, and we're all here at the desks together. No plexiglass. Pretty crazy, isn't it? All right, so let's get started. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle welcomed a baby girl over the weekend named Lilibet Diana. The royal family posted a wedding photo of the couple on social media saying they were delighted with the news. Lilibet is Harry and Meghan's second child and the Queen's 11th great-grandchild. Prince William and Kate also posted a sweet note to the couple saying they were delighted at the arrival of baby Lily. So, of course, Stephanie Jones is here to give us some insight as to how Brits are responding to the news. Steph?
Well, as you mentioned, Sam, the royal family is just thrilled with the arrival of baby Lilibet Diana. So Lily, as she will be called, was born on Friday in Santa Barbara and weighed 7 pounds 11 ounces. The two names are very close to Prince Harry's heart. It's the well-known that Lilibet is the Queen's nickname, shortened for Elizabeth. Diana, of course, is his late mother. William and Kate's daughter Charlotte also has the middle names Elizabeth and Diana too. But one royal expert said it was rude for Harry and Meghan to name their daughter after the Queen's special and private nickname. And Piers Morgan wished the couple well, but also said that the name was ironic given that Harry and Meghan have been, quote, trashing the royal family. So what do you guys think of the name? I think it's really cute.
I do too, Steph, and I'm like really disgusted with how people are so quick to a new life came into the world. Okay, strip away the fact, I love Erica's face right now, strip away the fact that this is a royal family, a royal baby, it doesn't matter. This is a life coming into the world and people have their claws out ready to take this family down.
Always. Yeah, I wish somebody would tell me what I could and could not do with my grandmama.
Yeah.
Okay? Pierce needs to stand down. Just stand down. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. How are you going to say, how do you not know that they didn't have a conversation with the Queen about what they were going to do? And you're going to chime in to say that?
Steph, is anybody sticking up for them? Like, do you see across the pond anybody, like, loving them? Or it seems...
I think all the trolls are out in full force, aren't they? As you said, this is a newborn baby. It's their first baby daughter. How amazing to join little Archie. And I think this royal expert, I mean, I just think she's trying to get her 2 cents in to try and, like, sell herself. She's one of those that sells all these biographies on people but hasn't actually collaborated with them to do it. So, yeah, I'm not sold on her exclusive, you know, insider information. And when you think, you know, Harry's so close to his grandma, he's made that very abundantly clear, and that name is something that's been passed down from her grandfather because she couldn't pronounce her own name, and then her husband called her it. So it's actually very endearing, and I think this is their way of having an olive branch back with the family.
See, I love Steph's point of view. Let's go with that. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and that's normal to adopt family names.
I've done it. It's
respectful.
It's a respect thing, right? You take your grandparents' name or somebody that was important to you, and you give that child a middle name. Both of my sons are named after our grandparents, so it has nothing to do with stepping away from the royal family or being disrespectful to them. It's respectful to name people after your mother who passed away and after your grandmother who you adore.
Yeah, knock, knock. Yeah. Knock, knock, who's there? Not Piers Morgan. Get out of here. Okay. Beat it. Wow. I stole one from you.
Okay. Steph, thank you so much for your inside scoop and always being positive. That's the way it should be. Gosh, this poor family with their new baby. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather failed to beat YouTube star Logan Paul during an exhibition boxing match. Floyd, who is 44, went all 8 rounds with the 26-year-old YouTuber. Floyd threw most of the punches, but there were no winner during the pay-per-view exhibition fight. A winner could only be named if the match was stopped or if there was a knockout. But some fans say the fight was fixed because Floyd was seen holding up Logan to stop him from falling. and to prevent the fight from being stopped early. It's reported that Floyd could take home $100 million from the match. Wow. Do you think this was fixed?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like, listen, I think the only reason they watch these brothers, Logan and Jake, is to see them get punched in the face. That's kind of their selling point. And I'm not trying to be mean, it sounds terrible, but it is. People tune in. I didn't want to pay $50 to watch this. I'm a huge fan of MMA, UFC, boxing. This is kind of more like WWE wrestling style. It is kind of fixed. It looks like he dropped them there, but he wanted to still entertain. There's no way this guy had a shot, legit shot, at beating Floyd Mayweather.
So what I don't know boxing, but are you saying Mayweather just like didn't try?
He tried.
No, I watched the whole fight. My husband and I watched the whole fight.
Okay,
we paid the $50. First of all, there was a whole thing on pay-per-view. Nobody could get it because it got overrun. That's how many people tried to tune in. So to your point, a lot of people did want to see Logan Paul get punched because he doesn't have the best reputation.
Right.
However, he did such a good job, and I was not prepared to say that. He really did. I mean, we know how fast Mayweather is, right? Unbelievable the way that he was able to dodge Mayweather's punches. To your point also, was Mayweather playing it easy for him?
Right here, he's out. He held him up. He's just he's in an exhibition match with him. Floyd's getting a workout here. He's not fighting professionally.
Although Floyd is also 42 years old and he's also 6. You didn't watch the fight, so how can you have something to say?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I only dated a guy whose father was the heavyweight champion.
No, but that's not my point.
No, I'm just simply saying I've watched more boxing than most people. I'm just looking at this saying that's not what I normally see. First of all, I didn't have an opinion. You came for me. I never said a word. I never said a word. But what I'm saying is, I looked at you. I didn't say anything.
I feel like no one's giving
All I'm saying is, when you see traditional historical boxing, you don't see that. And I think that Floyd Mayweather is just giving people a show because he can. And that's it. I don't think that he actually was realistically fighting this guy. And this is also a pattern over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that was my thoughts, believe me, before watching the show. And that's why I jumped on you, because I'm jumping on myself. My husband and I were like, Logan Paul is going to get knocked out.
And he did well.
Logan, he lasted 8 rounds. Again, was this Mayweather's best, shape of his life, considering he hasn't been boxing for a while? Was he playing it easy? I don't know. But if you watch all 8 rounds, it's pretty impressive that Logan Paul lasted that long, despite whether or not Mayweather came 100%, 50%, or 70%. So I don't like Logan Paul. I got to give him a little bit of credit for lasting the 8 rounds. I
give both those brothers credit. A lot of people just want to see him get knocked out.
Who is Jake?
They're just 2 brothers that are YouTubers, but they're cashing in on this success.
I don't like them.
Hey, I'm not going to hate the game that they're spitting out.
I can't believe he lasted 8 rounds with him. I just could not believe it.
He didn't, because he was knocked out right there.
You guys should have seen the fight. Let me tell you can't judge it from that little clip.
I'm $50 richer.
You are. Okay, so Shannon Doherty is getting real about aging in Hollywood. Shannon, who is 50, posted an unfiltered selfie on Instagram. In the caption, she wrote that while watching movies, she noticed there were few female characters without a facelift, fillers, and Botox. She added that her face reflects her life and that she is done with the way magazines in Hollywood portray women. Shannon has been battling breast cancer since 2015. It recently came back at stage 4. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow. What did you think, Tori, of her post about Hollywood being almost this culture of like you almost expect it,
right?
Botox, no lines.
Right.
It's almost like they all look
seamless.
The same.
Yeah,
right.
I got to be honest. And after seeing the Friends reunion, I was like, too much Botox, people.
Who?
Everybody. Really? Everybody looked too weird.
Even
to
Jennifer
me.
Aniston?
I thought she looked really weird. And I'm being honest here. So here's the deal. I think Lisa Kudrow, who didn't have her face, she had some wrinkles. My husband was like, that's the best looking one up there because she looks like a woman, like a normal person. So I'm with Shannon. I do get a little Botox now and again. I'm not going to lie. But when you overdo it, you've looked like a caricature of yourself. So aging with Botox, you got to play a fine line or else you are, what is that? That's what happened to me when I saw Friends.
I do agree that there are certain characteristics that start to look the same.
Yeah.
And but I'm not against people deciding to do things to their face.
Erica, because your face is.
I know.
Yeah. I'm not trying to come for you. But your
she does.
face has perfect.
It's true.
Well, thank you. I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate
Botox.
it.
That's true.
Well, Thank you. I really feel like it's something that, for me, I want to see what happens, because the older I get, the more characteristics I take on with women that I loved and adored and want to emulate. So I think I would never say I would never get anything done, but right now I enjoy going, looking in the mirror and seeing my grandmother, seeing those characteristics.
And Jeff, you recently, you talked about it on the show, you got Botox.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we talk about this because it feels like it's only about women.
Totally.
And I don't want it to only be about women.
No.
Do you feel the pressure?
I don't feel pressure. I just want to look good for myself, too. My wife loves that stuff, and she's like, maybe you get a little bit here, maybe a little bit
Jordan.
So I go with her, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I don't mind doing it. I don't mind talking about doing it, but I don't feel a pressure necessarily. And I don't know if this is a gender thing. It probably is, but see how nervous I get when I talk about gender? I'm like, am I offending somebody? Am I going to get fired?
No, you're not going to get fired.
Well, there's 4 people up there. If there's 3 tomorrow, you'll know why. But I don't feel the pressure necessarily as a man.
Yeah, I think it's women aging. It's almost unheard of at this point. And you didn't see roles for women. Like Jean Smart in the new Hacks, she's finally there's an older woman you get to see finally, like Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin. You just didn't see older women in a long time.
Do you feel pressure because you look a little weathered?
Yeah, so do you. You should go check. Were you riding in the back of a truck or something?
We're getting spicy.
Yeah. Side note, you mentioned Hacks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that show, I binged it yesterday.
It's good.
It was amazing.
Hacks. And Jean Smart's terrific in it. She's like a Las Vegas comedian, a little older.
Comedian?
Yeah.
Have I been saying comedian wrong this whole time?
For women,
you
comedian
in the
or
back
comedian?
of a truck story?
The what?
What does that mean?
Is it comedian or comedian?
Comedian if you want to say it in a feminine way. E-N-N-E. Comedian if you want to just say for male. Wait, I am a comedian, so don't try and check me on this. It's comedian.
Well, we are really out the
comedian.
I like it. I like the fire. Okay, we're back.
Don't check me, random person up there.
Coming up on DBL, a story about the family bonds that hold us together. We'll meet a young man who spent 2 decades searching for his birth mother and found her. And our DBL staff working hard at home during the pandemic, but we're slowly and safely getting people back in the studio. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
There may be a silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. According to reports, there has been so little flu that a couple strains may have gone extinct. Let's connect the dots. One side effect of COVID-19 has been a non-existent flu season. Experts say everything we did to stop COVID, face masks, social distancing, school closures, more hand washing, also helped flu cases drop to historic lows. According to Stat News, it's not just that we haven't had a lot of flu cases, but also that 2 strains of it were not reported anywhere. Viruses need a host to survive. With the flu, it usually passes from person to person in order to continue existing, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere as the seasons change. Stat News says since March 2020, no cases from one subtype of influenza A and one lineage of influenza B have been reported. Now, just because no cases were reported doesn't necessarily mean they are gone, but it is a good sign. Experts say it could make your yearly flu vaccine more effective. Each year, the experts have to figure out which strains will spread and make a vaccine using that educated guess. With fewer types of flu to pick from, there is a greater chance that educated guess is right.
to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about family as we follow one man's persistent search for his biological mom. Take a look at this heartwarming story.
This son found his biological mother after 20 years of searching. Brian Lucas and his sisters were put in foster care as children, and each were adopted by different families across the country.
They actually all lost each other. I found my brothers and sisters all around when I was about 13, 14, and just started pulling thread, finding more family members. She's the last one. She's the last one.
Brian hadn't seen his mom since he was 10, but he's been using social media for help.
I've always posted about her, but I never posted in the right place.
Brian's most recent attempt received hundreds of shares and comments.
Somebody said, I know who that is, that's the same name, it's the same face, and I know where she lives. And they said, this is the address, and they gave it to me. And I gave it to my cousin. They confirmed, the neighbor said, that's her, and I just rushed up there as soon as I could.
After driving 2 hours and 30 minutes, Brian and his mother finally reunited.
I dreamed it, but I never knew I was going to see it. I didn't know. Kids, everybody was. My mom and daddy passed, and I didn't know if anybody was still here or not.
Thanks to Brian's determination and the power of social media, this story has a happy ending.
Without, Facebook 10 years ago, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, we'll be right back.
After a year of canceled trips and blown plans, 2021 is all about making up for lost time. And with the weather heating up and pools opening back up, what could go wrong? A national lifeguard shortage. So let's verify, is there really a nationwide lifeguard shortage? Here are sources.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Werniss.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Mondick.
Both our experts confirmed that yes, there is a shortage nationwide.
A lack of interest, the pandemic, the halt to the foreign exchange, people aging out, all these are the perfect storm.
Our two experts say that many areas rely on foreign exchange students here with J1 visas. Just look at State Department numbers from the last 5 years. You'll see that they dropped by about 83% in 2020. That's because President Trump suspended new J1 visa applications at the start of the pandemic. It just expired in April.
Typically, we have a lot of overseas staff that come to patrol our beaches and our water parks in the summer. And because of the pandemic, those staff are not available to come over on their visas.
So we can verify that nationally, as a whole, yes, there's a lifeguard shortage. But whether or not your local pool is going to be affected depends on where you live. Glad summer's finally here. This is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Tomorrow on DBL, host of Let's Make a Deal, Wayne Brady, will be here live. He's telling us all about his new project with Glenn Close that's really close to his heart. That's tomorrow, only on DBL. Did you just wink?
Yeah. Erica said to Tori, did you just wink? Welcome back to DBL. When it comes to getting quality, adequate sleep every night, exercise plays a huge role in that. We're chatting about it in DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. People who exercise are almost twice as likely to get solid sleep compared to non-exercisers. It doesn't have to be strenuous activity. It can be a brisk walk or a bike ride. As long as you're doing an activity for 20 to 25 minutes a day, you'll be burning enough calories to prepare your body for better rest. It's also important to try to go to sleep around the same time every night to keep your internal clocks in check. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy, regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I never really thought of it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
What?
To really work out so you can get a better night's sleep. I feel like you're the sleep expert because, you know,
I can
your
sleep.
chili pad,
The loaded,
Yeah,
the
oh,
weighted
no.
blanket. She has
right.
the bed.
I do believe in, I would never go out and buy an expensive vehicle, but I would definitely pay more than most for a bed. And hands down.
You
hands
spend
down.
you spend like a third of your life in there.
Yeah.
You might want to put some money into it at that point.
That's the mattress salesman go-to. Like, oh, work this out.
It's true.
Think about how much you sleep and how long you actually live. You're like, hey,
Erica, you have good tips. Will you give us 3 tips for a good night's sleep? She does.
Okay,
She
so
does.
you definitely need a way to darken the room because that's very important, especially in the morning if you're trying to sleep in.
Yeah.
A lot of people have anxiety issues. For me, a weighted blanket is really great, and you can get one that's like 10 pounds, and I have one that's like 25 pounds. And also, if you can change the temperature so that when you're sleeping with someone else, it doesn't get too hot or too cold, an ULA or a chili pad is very highly recommended.
I told you, Jeff. See, Jeff didn't. I told you.
We talk about mattress salesperson. I just bought all of those right now.
I'm like, throw on curb and go to sleep.
All right, we'll be right back with a surprise you don't want to miss. Trust me.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about cicadas. Billions of them have been emerging from the ground, taking over parks, backyards, and sidewalks, even some kitchens. Oh! But not everybody has been a part of this cicada party. We recently received an email from a Leesburg viewer named Jen saying her backyard is empty. So let's verify. What are the main reasons that cicadas may not be in your neighborhood? Our source is Michael Raup, a professor emeritus at the University of Maryland, aka the bug guy.
Somebody's got to be the bug guy. It might as well be me.
Rupp says one big reason is land use, because remember, the cicadas we see today were born 17 years ago and have been growing underground ever since.
New developments, let's say past 2004, simply are unlikely to have cicadas again if they've been deforested. Just like Joni Mitchell said, you know, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. No more cicadas.
This is also why cicadas are less prevalent in cities. 17 years ago, the cicada nymphs had no place to go due to all that pavement. So what trees do cicadas like?
I'm seeing a lot of cicadas now in oak trees, in maple trees, in elm trees. They tend not to like the gymnosperms, evergreens, things like spruces and other trees with very dense needled foliage and branches.
But what if you have one of those trees that they like in your backyard, but for some reason, you just have no cicadas?
They're very patchy. They may have emerged, but they may have gone off down the street 100 yards. That's where they're laying eggs. And it can be as simple as 100 yards down the road.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, we want to wish Big Jeff a happy birthday, who celebrated his big day over the weekend. So don't think that we forgot about you. In fact, we have a little surprise from your favorite person of all time.
This is for Jeff Schroeder from your co-workers at Daily Blast Live. Well, you've been around the sun another time, Jeff. That means you're a year older. One time around the sun is a year. Now, we were both on Big Brother. I'm in London and you're in LA. Okay. I won.
Gary!
You didn't.
It's official, Jeff. You are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Okay, you didn't, but you met a lady who won. So that makes you a co-winner with her if she allows it, only with her permission. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jeff Schroeder. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy, 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 happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Jeff Schroeder.
That's why I love that guy. Oh my God, that was so good.
It's longer. It's way longer. I saw a snippet of
Could
it.
I get that?
Yes, you can get that.
Oh my God, that was the best.
It's yours.
That was your
That is
idea.
hilarious.
It was
That was a great
such a
one.
Gary Busey rendition of Gary Busey. You know what I mean? It was so Gary Busey.
That was like
Dude, he
the
committed.
best. He committed and he went long.
Yeah.
Made it a little personal. Gary Busey won Big Brother.
Oh, whew. Apparently he won.
I know. I thought it was going to be Tori playing the guitar.
Oh, yeah. It should have been me playing Gary Busey playing the guitar.
That was classic.
That was very good. Thank you, everybody. That was good. And usually I don't like surprises. That was a good one.
Yay!
That was a very
Yes.
good one.
There's even more from Gary. So make sure if you want to see more of Gary's birthday message to Jeff, go view the full video. You can go to Daily Blast Live's YouTube channel and you can see the whole shebang.
I like Cameo. I think it's great.
I know. Remember we did
Steve Guttenberg for me.
For you.
Best gift. It's a great gift. It's just like maybe he does know me now. He doesn't. Like I thought we would like end up being like somewhat friends and like maybe go out for coffee. It didn't happen.
Erica, who would your dream cameo be? Would it be someone from The Housewives, or would it be Lionel Richie? Who would it be?
No, it would be. I don't know. I didn't know. Like, I really don't know.
How much would you charge is a better question.
How much do you think he charges?
You know, Al's on it.
Yeah, tell me after.
I will.
I'm on it too. Me and my wife.
Do you do it often? Do people choose you? Do people choose Jordan more than you?
No, we're together. So if you like Jordan, you got to get me.
All right, well, DBL is new every day. We will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.
Jeff Schroeder from your co-workers at Daily Blast Live.
We're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
A mom poses as her 13-year-old daughter for a day of middle school?
I am gonna get so caught. I'm actually really scared now.
Why'd she do it? Jeff Bezos is going to space. Is this a risky move for the world's richest man? Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl. The story behind her adorable royal name. And R&B superstar Monica, from her new true crime series to reuniting with Brandy.
We knew that it had to end with the boy is mine.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Our stage manager is back. Welcome to DBL. It is Monday, June 7th. I'm Sam, here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. Look at this. This is weird. This is so weird.
I know.
It's been a year and 3 months. March 13th was the last time we've all been in the studio. There's some producers are here. Wow. Ira,
don't forget about that little cutie over there.
Here.
Ira wore a name tag.
Because
it's been that long.
Forget you, Ira. And slowly but surely, we will be reintroducing more of our staff. Crazy,
Feels
crazy,
good.
crazy. Okay. And how was your birthday weekend really
It was
quick?
great.
Yes.
It was great. Yeah, just chilled. You know, that's what I like. I went fishing with my kids. That's all I wanted to do.
Weird.
What? I know. It kind of feels like back up, man. But yeah,
So you went
it's
fishing
very
with
good.
the kids.
Barbecued at night. That's all I wanted.
Oh, that's so Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Super Jeff.
And
Perfect
his
for Jeff.
birthday is a milestone because his birthday fell on our audition.
That's right.
Or our audition fell on his birthday,
That's
I should
right.
say.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's been 4 years since we all been together.
Well, the gang's back.
4 years now.
Without plexiglass, of course. Yeah. Okay, so you guys may wonder, how safe are kids in school, right? Well, this Texas mom tried to prove a point by ending up, well, she got arrested and is now facing criminal charges. So this is what she did. She recorded herself impersonating her 13-year-old daughter and went to her middle school posing as a 7th grader. You see in the video, that's her. She says she did it to expose the lax security at the school. Take a look.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, and yourself?
Great.
I've been here all day. Face to face with teachers. Well, I finally got caught. I told them that I would go to the principal's office, so I guess we're gonna see what happens.
We need better security at our schools. This is what I tried to prove. And I don't mean to be curt, but I kind of feel like I proved it.
Well, what do you think about what this mom did? And do you think that she has a point that school security is not strong enough? Now, when I first heard this story this morning, because we have a morning meeting every morning, I thought, okay, how could a teacher not recognize that this is not the student that they've had all year? However, with the mask, she wore broad glasses, not sunglasses, but glasses. She looks young herself, so I'm not going to blame the teachers here. So now it does boil down to, are schools as secure as we hope they would be, Erica? What do you make of this? And should the mom have done this?
It's certainly alarming and it's extreme, but if she was trying to prove a point, I believe she did prove it. However, you also have to take into account the same way that we started the show. It's been a year and some months.
That's fair.
And some of these teachers may not have been her daughter's teachers before, and the last thing you're going to do is comment on a child's appearance. So the fact that there were so many other factors involved, I mean, yes, we do need safer schools. Was this the right way to prove it? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought your point, we had talked about this earlier, was really fair, that it's not necessarily the people coming from out of the schools, it's the kids in the schools that we're not paying attention to. So I just wanted you to go on with that. I thought it was a great point.
Yeah, because no one's sneaking into schools, and let's talk about it. School shootings, right? No one's sneaking in to do school shootings. It's the kids that go there. So maybe we should focus more on the mental health of the children rather than if someone's faking to be their daughter or not that's wearing a mask. I wouldn't know. Maybe this girl's not even popular and no one cares.
Dude.
Wow.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're all back together again. Let's do
Dude,
it.
he kicked the dirt off the shoes.
That's right.
Let me tell you. Okay. Did I do it? Say
That's
it
not
right?
even
That's not at all right.
I was picking up what you were laying down.
No. Kick the dirt off the shoes.
Okay.
Holy moly.
And I got that from you, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because you say that all the time.
Yeah, kick the dirt off the tires.
Yeah, but I got it wrong, but I got it from you, though.
All right, maybe I'll use yours.
I think mine's better. Okay, a billionaire is headed to space. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos made the announcement today, posting a video to Instagram. He's also inviting his brother. Take a look.
I wanted to go on this flight because it's a thing I've wanted to do all my life. It's an adventure. It's a big deal for me. I invited my brother to come on this first flight because we're closest friends. I really want you to come with me. Would you?
Are you serious?
I am. I think it would be meaningful.
Well, Bezos will be the first of the billionaires competing in the space race to go, beating out Richard Branson and Elon Musk. So what do you guys think of the decision to go? Tori, you have a frown on your face.
This rubbed me the wrong way. And I know I'm going to get in it with Erica, I think. But here's the deal. I really do. I really do. Because I think, here's the deal. Maybe he can find his tax money in space. Maybe he can actually help Americans by, like, leaving this space, the atmosphere, and actually doing something for this country. I find this snobby. I find this entitled. I find this privilege. I find, like, I'm going to take my brother. Well, there's a lot to fix here, and you could do it with a check. So I have a real hard time with Bezos. I know Erica disagrees.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think I always tell you to stay out of people's bedrooms and out of people's wallets.
That's right.
Yeah. My take doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more so like, out of all the races, I would not want to be the first
That's a good point.
to go to space. Like,
That's a good
if
point.
my brother called me and was like, sure thing, I'd be like, bro, first of all, have you talked to mom? Like, that's just so strange to me. But I understand this is a big thing for people. It just feels like I'd rather be like fifth.
How can you poo-poo going to space? I would go to space. Would you go to space?
I don't know if I'd go to space.
What?
I'd go to the moon.
That's in space.
What planet
Yeah, but
are
unless you're
we
doing
on?
something. Earth. That's what we're talking about.
How could you not want to go to
you
space?
just go on a real high plane ride. What's the difference?
You get to see the atmosphere. Remember that guy, Baumgartner?
Yeah,
I don't think it's that cool.
Remember the Red Bull Baumgartner dude? That
Yeah.
do you remember his view? Do you remember seeing the Earth's atmosphere and you see the entire Earth as a whole, like meaning as a globe, as
But,
a
like,
circle?
have you seen SpaceX?
You're not just way up in the air.
But SpaceX has a lot of faults, and they have not landed all of their landings. So I kind of agree with Eric. At this point, I'm not sure I'd be ready for this.
Maybe not be the first.
Maybe not the first.
Maybe the fifth.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we've got a really touching graduation story for you all. Timothy Harrison showed up at work at Waffle House instead of going to his graduation, all because he didn't have a ride across town. But his co-workers band together, bought him an outfit, and drove him to the ceremony. Here's what Harrison and his store manager said about it.
That's when I said, of course, why would you take off for your graduation? And he was like, well, I didn't want to miss work. So I was like, well, you're going.
I got people who want to see me succeed. So that kind of had me excited.
Wow. And now a local community college there has offered him a full ride scholarship. Yes.
Yo.
Would we do this for one another?
I would hope so, or do it like for one of our children or something. That he learned, not only is he going to get a college education now for free, he's going to learn a life lesson, like how to treat people, how to help others out. And if you help others out, let them succeed. You could pull people up while you're up there as well. So I love this story. I wish we did more of them.
Yeah, I also think when my dad said he missed a funeral once, and he just said 99% of life is showing up. And they knew it'd be important that he walked. It's important that he was there. It's important.
Yeah, I think
it's important.
Also,
you want me to do it again? It's important.
But it's important that we also think about things as a community too, because it's a beautiful gift when you have someone in your life who supports you. And if people don't have that type of support system, it doesn't take a whole lot to offer that to someone. So I think that's something we can all take away from them.
Amen, Erica. All right, well, quickly, before we go to break, we have to give a big DBL shout out to this little rat named Magawa. He's been honored for his work helping sniff out landmines in Cambodia. He even got this little medal that's hanging around his neck. He's also retiring after 5 years, and in that time, he is credited with finding 71 landmines and 38 unexploded bombs. When I thought about this story, I thought about your world travels, because didn't you go there?
Yes. I went to Cambodia. I didn't know, I was too busy learning about the killing fields in Pol Pot when I got to Cambodia, which I didn't know about. I thought this was a real problem in Laos, which is like Thailand, and Laos is right up here. I know this is still a big problem. There's a lot of people that had their limbs blown off. I don't mean to be graphic, but this is still a huge problem. It's from the war. So this rat.
Did you know, was rats a thing when you were there? Did you know that rats were sniffing out mines?
No. I didn't.
They're lightweight enough to not hurt themselves, and they can smell and cover a tennis court worth of field in 30 minutes. But humans take 4 days to do the same. Wow. So this little guy is really, he's part of Hero Rats, an organization of rodents.
Whoa, and I wonder how far he can sniff. Like, did you know an elephant can smell water 22 miles away? Wow. That is insane, you guys. Think about that. So I'm wondering what his smell range is.
I don't know, but you got me so curious. Come back.
Well, good to be back.
Oh, God.
Now you can punch me.
Coming up on DBL, Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl into the world, but is the royal family sending their best wishes after all the drama? Plus, we're chatting with R&B superstar Monica from her new true crime series to Reunited with Brandy. She is dishing the deets. And should women be required to register for the draft? Why some argue the current men-only draft is sexist. Coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
There may be a silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. According to reports, there has been so little flu that a couple strains may have gone extinct. Let's connect the dots. One side effect of COVID-19 has been a non-existent flu season. Experts say everything we did to stop COVID, face masks, social distancing, school closures, more hand washing, also helped flu cases drop to historic lows. According to Stat News, it's not just that we haven't had a lot of flu cases, but also that 2 strains of it were not reported anywhere. Viruses need a host to survive. With the flu, it usually passes from person to person in order to continue existing, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere as the seasons change. Stat News says since March 2020, no cases from one subtype of influenza A and one lineage of influenza B have been reported. Now, just because no cases were reported doesn't necessarily mean they are gone, but it is a good sign. Experts say it could make your yearly flu vaccine more effective. Each year, the experts have to figure out which strains will spread and make a vaccine using that educated guess. With fewer types of flu to pick from, there is a greater chance that educated guess is right.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our co-workers tuning in from home. A lot of them are still working remotely, but we are slowly getting more and more people back into the studio, safely and according, of course, to CDC guidelines. So is the military draft sexist? That's the question the Supreme Court is being asked to decide. Men are required to register for the draft at 18, but women are not, and some say that is sex discrimination. Men who don't register face a felony punishable by a fine and 5 years in prison, but women face no penalties. So is that fair, and should women be eligible for the draft? Before we talk, go to dblvote.com. Tell us what you think. We always love to hear from you. Tori, what do you make of this?
Surprisingly, I think that women should definitely be made to register to be in the draft, which we haven't had in many, many years. If I want freedom and equality, that's got to go both ways. And it can't be that the men get punished for one thing and women don't. If you're going to protect a class, which is a protected class of women, gender, then you got to do it both ways. So I am fully for women participating in Navy SEAL training. If they can make it, that's great. Front lines, combat, engineering, anything has to be up for grabs. Now, I know a lot of people at home right now are saying who's going to stay home and take care of the kids, and that's a real issue. But at that point, maybe the husband stays home if the wife has aspirations.
You just brought up a really great point that I don't think a lot of us have thought about, because conventionally speaking, if you think back to Vietnam, right, most of the homes, the dependents are dependent on the mother, right? Most of the time, not all the time. Now, things have changed over the years, but for the most part, it's still not 50-50. So what if it's just dependent specific? Like a man, I don't know the details here, but if a father has kids, Erica, they shouldn't be drafted. If a woman is a single mom,
but then you're being penalized for not having kids.
No, drafted. You're not being penalized.
But some people think the draft is a penalty at some point.
Well, if you have kids, your kids can't go.
They save one. It's that Private Ryan effect, right? So if you have 5 sons and they all get drafted, they're going to save one of those sons. So your name lives on. That's how it used to be.
So no. So if you're a parent, though, and you're a single parent and you have 3 kids depending on you, you're eligible for draft? That can't be right.
A good. Oh,
that's
I see what you're saying.
That cannot be right. If you're a single mother or a single father.
I see what
But you got to think, too, this isn't the 60s anymore, right? 18 years old, you're getting drafted. Maybe families started earlier back then. 18-year-old, now you don't really think of families, right?
This is kind of a crazy topic to me, because I agree with Tori on one hand, but in order to express your freedom and equity and equality, that also means you have to have it. And the truth is, women do not have full autonomy over their bodies in this country. And also, the idea of sexual harassment and some of the issues that are happening in the military
that's a good point.
are grave. If you speak to female veterans or people who are active duty, they will tell you that there are situations where they do not feel safe. Until that is resolved for the women who are volunteering and enlisting, then we can't even really have this conversation, can we?
Because it's not equitable at the first place.
That is
fair.
a great conversation and a great point. 66% of you say yes, women should be eligible for the draft. Interesting. So coming up on DBL, Shannon Doherty is getting real about aging, why she's ditching the Botox. And next, we're catching up with Monica, you guys. Is the boy hers or Brandy's? That's coming up next.
After a year of canceled trips and blown plans, 2021 is all about making up for lost time. And with the weather heating up and pools opening back up, what could go wrong? A national lifeguard shortage. So let's verify, is there really a nationwide lifeguard shortage? Here are sources.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Wernis.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Mondick.
Both our experts confirmed that yes, there is a shortage nationwide.
A lack of interest, the pandemic, the halt to the foreign exchange, people aging out, all these are the perfect storm.
Our 2 experts say that many areas rely on foreign exchange students here with J1 visas. Just look at State Department numbers from the last 5 years. You'll see that they dropped by about 83% in 2020. That's because President Trump suspended new J1 visa applications at the start of the pandemic. It just expired in April.
Typically, we have a lot of overseas staff that come to patrol our beaches and our water parks in the summer. And because of the pandemic, those staff are not available to come over on their visas.
So we can verify that nationally, as a whole, yes, there's a lifeguard shortage. But whether or not your local pool is going to be affected depends on where you live. Glad summer's finally here. This is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Fine watching in plain view, you caught up and tangled in the web of the world. I wish I could save you.
Welcome back to DBL. That's Grammy award-winning singer Monica's new music video, Trenches. And we caught up with Miss Thang herself earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars. Welcome to DBL. We have a lot to talk about, including your new celebrity true crime series plus new music. It's been more than 20 years since you earned a Grammy with fellow R&B singer Brandy for The Boy Is Mine. And I want to know the best part about reuniting with Brandy for the Versus battle, which you won, by the way.
For me, I felt like it was a win for the culture in a lot of different facets, and I'll tell you why. We had not come together or done anything together in almost a decade at that point. And I wanted it to be special. And we knew that it had to end with The Boy Is Mine.
Yes.
There's no song to play after The Boy Is Mine.
Right.
And they made it all happen. So I'm really glad that we were able to do something like that.
You just released the title track off your upcoming new album, Trenches, which features rapper Lil Baby. What can you tell us about it?
That record is special to me. It is the title track off my new album, which is now done.
Yeah.
It's being mixed and mastered. It took me a very long time. It is a very transparent record. I am talking that talk, as we say.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, congrats to that. Now, you're super busy. You're hosting the new true crime series show on VH1 called Infamy, When Fame Turns Deadly. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Infamy was a dream come true for me. I grew up being a big fan of true crime series. Snapped, First 48, America's Most Wanted. All those shows were shows I watched. And this one kind of parallels in different ways. But what I love most about Infamy is it really takes you through a walk of who the victims were from their childhood, where they were born and raised, and what their life was really like. And then it also gives you a chance to hear from the people that are still mourning their loss. We talk to mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers, and you realize how these tragedies really changed lives.
The price of fame can be deadly.
I like that the spotlight is on the victim and surviving family and not the perpetrator, which we often see in true crime. Well, you've been using your voice, Monica, to speak about other important topics. You recently shared that you are recovering from surgery related to endometriosis. My mom has had that. It is incredibly painful. Why was it so important to share this experience with other women? Because I know some women have never even heard of it, which is crazy to me.
Well, I had never heard of it just 4 years ago when I was diagnosed. Endometriosis is extremely painful, and women monthly feel like suffering is a part of the deal when you're a woman. But you find out when you learn about endometriosis that we shouldn't be in excruciating pain. And you learn that every age can suffer from endometriosis. So once I was diagnosed, I initially had the first surgery, and it was not like the second. The second was very hard. I was in the hospital a week, and I ended up having multiple blood transfusions. But now being on a bit of the mends and recovering, I've become somewhat of an advocate because I want women to know what this disease is, and I want them to know that there is help for them.
Spread the word to all your female friends. Gentlemen, get to know the word endometriosis, and thank Monica for speaking out about it. Monica, it's been an honest pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, DBL Nation. Be sure to watch the premiere of Infamy, When Fame Turns Deadly, when it premieres June 7th on VH1. That boy, he's definitely mine. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about cicadas. Billions of them have been emerging from the ground, taking over parks, backyards, and sidewalks, even some kitchens. Oh! But not everybody has been a part of this cicada party. We recently received an email from a Leesburg viewer named Jen saying her backyard is empty. So let's verify. What are the main reasons that cicadas may not be in your neighborhood? Our source is Michael Raup, a professor emeritus at the University of Maryland, aka the bug guy.
Somebody's got to be the bug guy. It might as well be me.
Rupp says one big reason is land use, because remember, the cicadas we see today were born 17 years ago and have been growing underground ever since.
New developments, let's say past 2004, simply are unlikely to have cicadas again if they've been deforested. Just like Joni Mitchell said, you know, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot, no more cicadas.
This is also why cicadas are less prevalent in cities. 17 years ago, the cicada nymphs had no place to go due to all that pavement. So what trees do cicadas like?
I'm seeing a lot of cicadas now in oak trees, in maple trees, in elm trees. They tend not to like the gymnosperms, evergreens, things like spruces and other trees with very dense needled foliage and branches.
But what if you have one of those trees that they like in your backyard, but for some reason you just have no cicadas?
They're very patchy. They may have emerged, but they may have gone off down the street 100 yards. That's where they're laying eggs. And it can be as simple as 100 yards down the road.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, you got comments?
Yes, Marvin from Facebook says, I think she did a good job exposing the lack of security, not just in her daughter's school, but all schools in the United States. That's about, of course, the mom posing. Robin from Facebook says, they can take my brother to space if they want. Robin. Wah, wah. Lauren says, no one should be forced to be in the military. I do not believe in a draft. And that's a whole other conversation,
yes, it
right?
is.
Conscription is a whole other conversation. And Cindy says, Sam was wrong. Elephants can smell up to 12 miles away.
I think in her book it says 20 kilometers.
Yes, it's 20 kilometers. You are correct.
Which may be around 12 miles.
12
so
miles.
She's right. I'm right too.
How far could a mouse smell?
Oh.
Or a rat, sorry.
Yeah, the rat
Is that
can smell
discriminatory?
3.2 feet.
3.2
feet, not much. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or YouTube. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Shannon Doherty is accepting her age and swearing off things like Botox. She's explaining why. Plus, Harry and Meghan welcome a baby girl into the world. Well, their bouncing bundle of joy mend the rift among the royals. DBL's new every day. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Tori, and Erica. If you guys are just now joining us, things look a little different. We're 4 of us back here. It's been a year and 3 months, and we're all here at the desks together. No plexiglass. Pretty crazy, isn't it? All right, so let's get started. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle welcomed a baby girl over the weekend named Lilibet Diana. The royal family posted a wedding photo of the couple on social media saying they were delighted with the news. Lilibet is Harry and Meghan's second child and the Queen's 11th great-grandchild. Prince William and Kate also posted a sweet note to the couple saying they were delighted at the arrival of baby Lily. So, of course, Stephanie Jones is here to give us some insight as to how Brits are responding to the news. Steph?
Well, as you mentioned, Sam, the royal family is just thrilled with the arrival of baby Lilibet Diana. So Lily, as she will be called, was born on Friday in Santa Barbara and weighed 7 pounds 11 ounces. The two names are very close to Prince Harry's heart. It's the well-known that Lilibet is the Queen's nickname, shortened for Elizabeth. Diana, of course, is his late mother. William and Kate's daughter Charlotte also has the middle names Elizabeth and Diana too. But one royal expert said it was rude for Harry and Meghan to name their daughter after the Queen's special and private nickname. And Piers Morgan wished the couple well, but also said that the name was ironic given that Harry and Meghan have been, quote, trashing the royal family. So what do you guys think of the name? I think it's really cute.
I do too, Steph, and I'm like really disgusted with how people are so quick to a new life came into the world. Okay, strip away the fact, I love Erica's face right now, strip away the fact that this is a royal family, a royal baby. It doesn't matter. This is a life coming into the world, and people have their claws out ready to take this family down.
Always. Yeah, I wish somebody would tell me what I could and could not do with my grandmama.
Yeah.
Okay. Pierce needs to stand down. Just stand down. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. How are you going to say, how do you not know that they didn't have a conversation with the Queen about what they were going to do? And you're going to chime in to say that?
Steph,
it's
is
weird.
Anybody sticking up for them? Like, do you see across the pond anybody like loving them, or it seems?
I think all the trolls are out in full force, aren't they? As you said, this is a newborn baby. It's their first baby daughter. How amazing to join little Archie. And I think this royal expert, I mean, I just think she's trying to get her 2 cents in to try and like sell herself. She's one of those that sells all these biographies on people but hasn't actually collaborated with them to do it. So yeah, I'm not sold on her exclusive, you know, insider information. And when you think, you know, Harry's so close to his grandma, he's made that very abundantly clear, and that name is something that's been passed down from her grandfather because she couldn't pronounce her own name, and then her husband called her it. So it's actually very endearing, and I think this is their way of having an olive branch back with the family.
See, I love Steph's point of view. Let's go with that. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and that's normal to adopt family names.
I've done it. It's
respectful.
It's a respect thing, right? You take your grandparents' name or somebody that was important to you, and you give that child a middle name. Both of my sons are named after our grandparents, so it has nothing to do with stepping away from the royal family or being disrespectful to them. It's respectful to name people after your mother who passed away and after your grandmother who you adore.
Yeah, knock, knock. Yeah. Knock, knock, who's there? Not Piers Morgan. Get out of here. Okay. Beat it. Wow. I stole one from you.
Okay. Steph, thank you so much for your insight. Scoop and always being positive. That's the way it should be. Gosh, this poor family with their new baby. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather failed to beat YouTube star Logan Paul during an exhibition boxing match. Floyd, who is 44, went all 8 rounds with the 26-year-old YouTuber. Floyd threw most of the punches, but there were no winner during the pay-per-view exhibition fight. A winner could only be named if the match was stopped or if there was a knockout. But some fans say the fight was fixed because Floyd was seen holding up Logan to stop him from falling.
Oh,
and to prevent the fight from being stopped early. It's reported that Floyd could take home $100 million from the match. Wow. Do you think this was fixed?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like, listen, I think the only reason they watch these brothers, Logan and Jake, is to see them get punched in the face. That's kind of their selling point. And I'm not trying to be mean, it sounds terrible, but it is. People tune in. I didn't want to pay $50 to watch this. I'm a huge fan of MMA, UFC, boxing. This is kind of more like WWE wrestling style. It is kind of fixed. It looks like he dropped them there, but he wanted to still entertain. There's no way this guy had a shot, legit shot, at beating Floyd Mayweather.
So what I don't know boxing, but are you saying Mayweather just like didn't try?
No, he tried.
No, I watched the whole fight. My husband and I watched the whole fight.
Okay,
we paid the $50. First of all, there was a whole thing on pay-per-view. Nobody could get it because it got overrun. That's how many people tried to tune in. So to your point, a lot of people did want to see Logan Paul get punched because he doesn't have the best reputation.
Right.
However, he did such a good job, and I was not prepared to say that. He really did. I mean, we know how fast Mayweather is, right? Unbelievable the way that he was able to dodge Mayweather's punches. To your point also, was Mayweather playing it easy for him?
Right here, he's out. He held him up. He's just,
so that's out.
He's in an exhibition match with him. Floyd's getting a workout here. He's not fighting professionally.
Although Floyd is also 42 years old, and he's also 6. You didn't watch the fight, so how can you have something to say?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I only dated a guy whose father was the heavyweight champion.
No, but that's not my point.
No, I'm just simply saying I've watched more boxing than most people. I'm just looking at this saying that's not what I normally see. First of all, I didn't have an opinion. You came from me. I never said a word. I never said a word. But what I'm saying is, I looked at you. I didn't say anything.
No one's giving
all I'm saying is, when you see traditional historical boxing, you don't see that. And I think that Floyd Mayweather is just giving people a show because he can. And that's it. I don't think that he actually was realistically fighting this guy. And this is also a pattern over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that was my thoughts, believe me, before watching the show. And that's why I jumped on you, because I'm jumping on myself. My husband and I were like, Logan Paul is going to get knocked out.
And he did well.
Logan, he lasted 8 rounds. Again, did Mayweather, was this the Mayweather's best, shape of his life, considering he hasn't been boxing for a while? Was he playing it easy? I don't know. But if you watch all 8 rounds, it's pretty impressive that Logan Paul lasted that long, despite whether or not Mayweather came 100%, 50%, or 70%. So I don't like Logan Paul. I got to give him a little bit of credit for lasting the 8 rounds. I
give both those brothers credit. A lot of people just want to see him get knocked out.
Who is Jake?
They're just 2 brothers that
they're
are
YouTubers,
YouTube, but they're
aren't they?
cashing in on this success.
I don't like them.
Hey, I'm not going to hate the game that they're spitting out.
I can't believe he lasted 8 rounds with him. I just could not believe it.
He didn't, because he was knocked out right there.
You guys should have seen the fight. Let me tell you, you can't judge it from that little clip.
I'm $50 richer.
You are. Okay, so Shannon Doherty is getting real about aging in Hollywood. Shannon, who is 50, posted an unfiltered selfie on Instagram. In the caption, she wrote that while watching movies, she noticed there were few female characters without a facelift, fillers, and Botox. She added that her face reflects her life and that she is done with the way magazines in Hollywood portray women. Shannon has been battling breast cancer since 2015. It recently came back at stage 4. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow. What did you think, Tori, of her post about Hollywood being almost this culture of like you almost expect it,
right?
Botox, no lines.
Right.
It's almost like they all
like
look
seamless.
The same.
Yeah,
right.
I got to be honest. And after seeing the Friends reunion, I was like, too much Botox, people.
Who?
Everybody.
Really?
Everybody looked too weird.
Even
to
Jennifer
me.
Aniston?
I thought she looked really weird. And I'm being honest here. So here's the deal. I think Lisa Kudrow, who didn't have her face, she had some wrinkles. My husband was like, that's the best looking one up there because she looks like a woman, like a normal person. So I'm with Shannon. I do get a little Botox now and again. I'm not going to lie. But when you overdo it, you've looked like a caricature of yourself. So aging with Botox, you got to play a fine line or else you are, what is that? That's what happened to me when I saw Friends.
I do agree that there are certain characteristics that start to look the same.
Yeah.
And but I'm not against people deciding to do things to their face.
Erica, because your face is...
I know.
I'm not trying to come for you. But
She does have perfect.
It's true. Well, thank you. I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate it.
Botox.
That's true.
Well, Thank you. I really feel like it's something that, for me, I want to see what happens, because the older I get, the more characteristics I take on with women that I loved and adored and want to emulate. So I think I would never say I would never get anything done, but right now I enjoy going, looking in the mirror and seeing my grandmother, seeing those characteristics.
And Jeff, you recently, you talk about it on the show, you got Botox.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we talk about this because it feels like it's only about women.
Totally.
And I don't want it to only be about women.
No.
Do you feel the pressure?
I don't feel pressure. I just want to look good for myself, too. My wife loves that stuff, and she's like, maybe you get a little bit here, maybe a little bit
Jordan.
here. So I go with her, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I don't mind doing it. I don't mind talking about doing it, but I don't feel a pressure necessarily. And I don't know if this is a gender thing. It probably is, but see how nervous I get when I talk about gender? I'm like, am I offending somebody? Am I going to get fired?
No, you're not going to get fired.
Well, there's 4 people up there. If there's 3 tomorrow, you'll know why. But I don't feel the pressure necessarily as a man.
Yeah, I think it's women aging. It's almost unheard of at this point. And you didn't see roles for women. Like Jean Smart in the new Hacks, she's finally like, there's an older woman you get to see finally, like Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin. You just didn't see older women in a long time.
Do you feel pressure because you look a little weathered?
Yeah, so do you. You should go check. Were you riding in the back of a truck or something?
We're getting spicy.
Yeah. Side note, you mentioned Hacks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that show, I binged it yesterday.
It's good.
It was amazing.
Hacks. And Jean Smart's terrific in it. She's like a Las Vegas comedian, a little older.
Comedian?
Yeah.
What,
Have I been saying comedian wrong this whole time?
For women, you
riding in the back
comedian?
of a truck story?
The what?
What does that mean?
Is it comedian or comedian?
Comedian if you want to say it in a feminine way, E-N-N-E. Comedian if you want to just say for male. Wait, I am a comedian, so don't try and check me on this. It's comedian
Well, we are really out the
or comedian.
I like it. I like the fire. Okay, we're back.
Don't check me, random person up there.
Coming up on DBL, a story about the family bonds that hold us together. We'll meet a young man who spent 2 decades searching for his birth mother and found her. And our DBL staff working hard at home during the pandemic, but we're slowly and safely getting people back in the studio. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
There may be a silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. According to reports, there has been so little flu that a couple strains may have gone extinct. Let's connect the dots. One side effect of COVID-19 has been a non-existent flu season. Experts say everything we did to stop COVID, face masks, social distancing, school closures, more hand washing, also helped flu cases drop to historic lows. According to Stat News, it's not just that we haven't had a lot of flu cases, but also that 2 strains of it were not reported anywhere. Viruses need a host to survive. With the flu, it usually passes from person to person in order to continue existing, moving from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere as the seasons change. Stat News says since March 2020, no cases from one subtype of influenza A and one lineage of influenza B have been reported. Now, just because no cases were reported doesn't necessarily mean they are gone, but it is a good sign. Experts say it could make your yearly flu vaccine more effective. Each year, the experts have to figure out which strains will spread and make a vaccine using that educated guess. With fewer types of flu to pick from, there is a greater chance that educated guess is right.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about family as we follow one man's persistent search for his biological mom. Take a look at this heartwarming story.
This son found his biological mother after 20 years of searching. Brian Lucas and his sisters were put in foster care as children, and each were adopted by different families across the country.
They actually all lost each other. I found my brothers and sisters all around when I was about 13, 14, and just started pulling thread, finding more family members. She's the last one. She's the last one.
Brian hadn't seen his mom since he was 10, but he's been using social media for help.
I've always posted about her, but I never posted in the right place.
Brian's most recent attempt received hundreds of shares and comments.
Somebody said, I know who that is. That's the same name, it's the same face, and I know where she lives. And they said, this is the address. And they gave it to me, and I gave it to my cousin. They confirmed, the neighbor said, that's her, and I just rushed up there as soon as I could.
After driving 2 hours and 30 minutes, Brian and his mother finally reunited.
I dreamed it, but I never knew I was going to see it. I didn't know. Kids, everybody was. My mom and daddy passed, and I didn't know if anybody was still here or not.
Thanks to Brian's determination and the power of social media, this story has a happy ending.
Without, Facebook 10 years ago, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, we'll be right back.
After a year of canceled trips and blown plans, 2021 is all about making up for lost time. And with the weather heating up and pools opening back up, what could go wrong? A national lifeguard shortage. So let's verify, is there really a nationwide lifeguard shortage? Here are sources.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Wernick.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Mondick.
Both our experts confirmed that yes, there is a shortage nationwide.
A lack of interest, the pandemic, the halt to the foreign exchange, people aging out, all these are the perfect storm.
Our two experts say that many areas rely on foreign exchange students here with J1 visas. Just look at State Department numbers from the last 5 years. You'll see that they dropped by about 83% in 2020. That's because President Trump suspended new J1 visa applications at the start of the pandemic. It just expired in April.
Typically, we have a lot of overseas staff that come to patrol our beaches and our water parks in the summer. And because of the pandemic, those staff are not available to come over on their visas.
So we can verify that nationally, as a whole, yes, there's a lifeguard shortage. But whether or not your local pool is going to be affected depends on where you live. Glad summer's finally here. This is Evan Kozloff with your Verify.
Tomorrow on DBL, host of Let's Make a Deal, Wayne Brady, will be here live. He's telling us all about his new project with Glenn Close that's really close to his heart. That's tomorrow, only on DBL.
Did you just wink?
Yeah. Erica said to Tori, did you just wink? Welcome back to DBL. When it comes to getting quality, adequate sleep every night, exercise plays a huge role in that. We're chatting about it in DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. People who exercise are almost twice as likely to get solid sleep compared to non-exercisers. It doesn't have to be strenuous activity. It can be a brisk walk or a bike ride. As long as you're doing an activity for 20 to 25 minutes a day, you'll be burning enough calories to prepare your body for better rest. It's also important to try to go to sleep around the same time every night to keep your internal clocks in check. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy, regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I never really thought of it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
What?
To really work out so you can get a better night's sleep. I feel like you're the sleep expert because,
I can
your
sleep.
chili pad,
The loaded,
yeah,
the weighted blanket. She has
right.
the bed.
I do believe in, I would never go out and buy an expensive vehicle, but I would definitely pay more than most for a bed. And hands down.
You
hands
spend
down.
you spend like a third of your life in there.
Yeah.
You might want to put some money into it at that point.
That's the mattress salesman go-to. Like, oh, work this out.
It's true.
Think about how much you sleep and how long you actually live. You're like, hey,
Erica, you have good tips. Will you give us 3 tips for a good night's sleep? She does.
Okay, so you definitely need a way to darken the room because that's very important, especially in the morning if you're trying to sleep in.
Yeah.
A lot of people have anxiety issues. For me, a weighted blanket is really great, and you can get one that's like 10 pounds, and I have one that's like 25 pounds. And also, if you can change the temperature so that when you're sleeping with someone else, it doesn't get too hot or too cold, an ULA or a chili pad is very highly recommended.
I told you, Jeff. See, Jeff didn't. I told you.
We talk about mattress salesperson. I just bought all of those right now.
I'm like, throw on curb and go to sleep.
All right, we'll be right back with a surprise you don't want to miss. Trust me.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Lately, there's been a lot of talk about cicadas. Billions of them have been emerging from the ground, taking over parks, backyards, and sidewalks, even some kitchens. Oh! But not everybody has been a part of this cicada party. We recently received an email from a Leesburg viewer named Jen saying her backyard is empty. So let's verify. What are the main reasons that cicadas may not be in your neighborhood? Our source is Michael Raup, a professor emeritus at the University of Maryland, aka the bug guy.
Somebody's got to be the bug guy. It might as well be me.
Raup says one big reason is land use, because remember, the cicadas we see today were born 17 years ago and have been growing underground ever since.
New developments, let's say past 2004, simply are unlikely to have cicadas again if they've been deforested. Just like Joni Mitchell said, you know, you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. No more cicadas.
This is also why cicadas are less prevalent in cities. 17 years ago, the cicada nymphs had no place to go due to all that pavement. So what trees do cicadas like?
I'm seeing a lot of cicadas now in oak trees, in maple trees, in elm trees. They tend not to like the gymnosperms, evergreens, things like spruces and other trees with very dense needled foliage and branches.
But what if you have one of those trees that they like in your backyard, but for some reason you just have no cicadas?
They're very patchy. They may have emerged, but they may have gone off down the street 100 yards. That's where they're laying eggs. And it can be as simple as 100 yards down the road.
With your Verify, this is Evan Kozloff.
Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, we want to wish Big Jeff a happy birthday, who celebrated his big day over the weekend. So don't think that we forgot about you. In fact, we have a little surprise from your favorite person of all time.
This is for Jeff Schroeder from your co-workers at Daily Blast Live. Well, you've been around the sun another time, Jeff. That means you're a year older. One time around the sun is a year. Now, we were both on Big Brother. I'm in London and you're in LA. Okay. I won.
Gary!
You didn't.
It's official, Jeff. You are evicted from the Big Brother house.
Okay, you didn't, but you met a lady who won. So that makes you a co-winner with her if she allows it, only with her permission. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jeff Schroeder. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy, 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 happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Jeff Schroeder.
That's why I love that guy. Oh my God, that was so good.
It's longer.
It's way longer.
I saw a snippet of
Could
it.
I get that?
Yes, you can get that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God,
yours,
that was
buddy.
the best.
It's yours.
That was your
That is
idea.
hilarious. It was
a great
such
one.
a Gary Busey rendition of Gary Busey. You know what I mean? It was so Gary Busey.
That was like
Dude, he
the best. He committed and he went long.
Yeah.
Made it a little personal. You see what Big Brother?
Oh, whew. Apparently he won.
I know. I thought it was going to be Tori playing the guitar.
Oh yeah, it should have been me playing Gary Busey playing the guitar.
That was classic.
That was very good. Thank you, everybody. That was good. And usually I don't like surprises. That was a good one.
Yay!
That was a very good one.
There's even more from Gary, so make sure if you want to see more of Gary's birthday message to Jeff, go view the full video. You can go to Daily Blast Live's YouTube channel and you can see the whole shebang.
I like Cameo. I think it's great.
I know. Remember we did
Steve Guttenberg for me.
For you.
Best gift. It's a great gift. It's just like maybe he does know me now. He doesn't. Like the Goot. Like I thought we would like end up being like somewhat friends and like maybe go out for coffee. It didn't happen.
Erica, who would your dream cameo be? Would it be someone from the Housewives or would it be Lionel Richie? Who would it be?
No, it would be, I don't know. I didn't know. Like, I really don't know.
How much would you charge is a better question.
Yeah.
How much do you think he charges?
You know, Al's on it.
Yeah, tell me after.
I will.
I'm on
Yeah.
it too. Me and my wife.
Do you do it often? Do people choose you?
Yeah.
Do people choose Jordan more than you?
No, we're together. So if you like Jordan, you got to get me.
All right, well, DBL is new every day. We will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
This is for Jeff Schroeder from your co-workers at Daily Blast Live.